Hey, you guys. How is
Hi,
everybody? We're
everybody.
back tonight with Morgana Banana to talk about Scott Peterson.
hmm
How are you tonight, Morgana?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Good. Um, how's everybody in the chat? We got Steph. Steph said, not me seeing the 30-minute announcement thinking it said crotch watch.
We're not showing any of that here, Steph.
No, we're not doing that. Uh Hold on, I'm gonna turn your mic volume up a little bit, Morgana Banana. Can you say something for me?
Being kind. Hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You guys let us know in the chat if you're hearing any echoes or if both of us sound good. Steph's talking about OnlyFans. Only Steph for OnlyFans.
Only Steph. Hi, everybody. Saying hi.
Hey guys. Hey Henny. Hey Sherry. Hey Rose Wills. Hi, how are you, doll? Sending thoughts and prayers out to you. Billy. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Am I missing anybody? Billy
Sherry, did you?
says, yeah, I saw Sherry. Billy says,
Okay.
sounds good. Okay, good. All right. So, we're going to discuss a little bit more about Scott Peterson. If you guys have missed our past, you know, live streams on Scott Peterson, then I need to put those in a playlist so that they're easy
Mm-hmm.
to find. But
Right.
we've talked about the burnt van. We've talked about the people that witnessed her walking the dog the morning that she supposedly, well, she did go missing, but I'm saying supposedly the morning of the
Right.
24th, according to, um, all of the things. But between Morgana and um Steph says, who has time for that when you're streaming 12 hours a day? Yeah. um, so the between Morgana and JB's mama, who will be late, um, they will be, or they have the like MVP for keeping me straight on these things because God knows, right? I stay like,
JB. JB's really good.
oh my gosh. I'm like, what page is this on? What page is that on? And Steph, I finally figured out the control F to find certain things, but for whatever reason, it does not work when I'm sharing the screen, which is dumb because that's when I need it, right? But I got
Yeah,
notes
of
on the
course.
watch part, the robbery part. I might need a little bit of help with that, but um, I'm gonna get back to sharing that screen. And, we'll talk about the
Before we
what.
start that,
Do
I was
what?
gonna say before you start that, I was gonna tell you that I saw somewhere that they were talking about the black pants that everybody witnessed her in. All the
Oh,
witnesses said she, like, had dark pants,
yeah.
but I didn't know this until I heard this weekend. Did you hear that, when they found her, she had on, like, cream-colored pants?
Yeah, I remember JB saying something about that.
Yeah, so they're all saying that, or, things I've heard, people are like, "Well, then they didn't see her because they all say she had on black pants or dark pants." So I thought,
What was
not the
what
same pants she had on the night before, because the pants she had on the night before were like tan, or not the same ones though, because those were in the hamper. But these were a pair, they said, of like cream colored pants. So I don't know.
Steph said I think she was wearing black pants the previous day. Yeah, that's been a little bit confusing for me too. I've tried to make sense of that. I'm like, I
Hmm.
don't understand what that's about.
Right.
Um, oh, I see JB's mama back there. Hey girl, you ready? Okay, she's got her camera cut off. I think she's ready to roll. Okay, I'm gonna add her. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I felt
what
like
do you
Miss Doubtfire for a minute. Hello.
Right.
right? I love that. Hello. What do you think about the tan pants Morgana just brought up? What is your theory on the people seeing her in black pants, but then she's found in tan pants?
I think she changed clothes, and I think that's when something happened to her.
You think she changed clothes after she walked the dog?
Yeah, who's gonna hang out in their sweaty clothes that they just wrestled around a big old dog who don't listen?
Well, right. That's my thought. But at the same time, that's what I thought was what if she changed her clothes when she got back? But at the same time, everybody's been led to believe that she was kidnapped and hauled off right there on the street.
Hmm.
So I'm being devil's clavicle here. Let's say it's
Right.
not Scott, right? Let's say it was the robbers in this van.
Hmm.
Could they have potentially been like she found them when she was on her way back home with the dog and they're like, "Yo, uh you just spotted us taking stuff out of this house," and she's in there changing clothes and then they sneak over there and
It's very true.
whack her. I mean, they're
Very
not
true.
I don't think anything happened to her in the house because there was no evidence of that.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, could they have like in broad daylight? That's what I'm not. That's the only thing that confuses me. Even if she was taken right there off the street
Yeah.
in
Right.
broad daylight, nobody's seen it. But then that woman that see now I watched the A&E special. There was like 6 parts to that. I watched that this
Hmm.
weekend and I
Hmm.
heard
Right.
them somebody that worked at the hospital that was next to the park saw her at the park and it looked like it was potentially like a had like woods and stuff and that somebody could have like snatched her right then and nobody's seen it.
Hi,
Yeah.
Steph. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I was going to get a Google version, a look down, but I ran out of time this weekend.
Well,
But
it's not like you haven't already got I mean, good lord, if you guys have seen the stuff that this chick has sent me,
I know. It's like, whoa.
you just a little bit. Um,
just a little bit,
just a little
just
bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
I'd call that a lot.
That's a lot of bit.
Uh, you know, personally, I think that A&E special is very biased.
Who is it
Yeah.
you think is biased?
The A&E special.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You could totally tell
Yeah.
that they were, um, on Scott's side, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can tell it's very biased. Um,
Well, I think that's the one, because I was listening to a guy on YouTube that was going over that one, and he was kind of debunking everything that they were saying.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So I don't know. That made them. Then I was like, oh, hmm.
yeah,
After I heard that,
yeah. So did they debunk all the things that the A&E special, like all the little like bullet points, like I don't know, like the orange van? Did
yeah.
they debunk the van and the blood on the mattress?
Now the van, I don't know that he spoke of the van in the part I saw. He was
Yeah.
talking about the witnesses and the um, oh, the dog and just all different kinds of things that they had been talking about on that A&E. And he was talking about how that was like that A&E thing was kind of the supporters of Scott Peterson. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like taking that side. So he was kind of going over all why he thought the other way, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Well, I would love for you to send me the link to that, or if you remember who it was.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll have to
Okay.
look. I can't. I mean, I'll find it. I just watched it yesterday, so. But I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
hear that. And that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. I don't want anybody to get me wrong and think that I think that Scott Peterson is not guilty.
Right.
Like when I first brought this up to my sister Mickey, she was like, "You think he's innocent?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. Now let me just play devil's advocate here. Like when I first started the channel, I kind of was like, I really want this to be like a spot where we're that juror that is being told, can you be not biased? Can you like have an open mind and listen to both sides of the story? That's what
Right.
I want to do,
You were
Right.
And
wanting to be Devical Clavicle.
yeah, I want to be the devil's clavicle here and let's see,
Right.
if there's
And just
reasonable
all
doubt.
theories of things, you know, well, could this have happened? Or, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just discuss it.
Yes. And I there was a lot of different things that I saw in the A&E special though that I was like, QB says, "Okay, I'm out."
It is not a BK session. This is a Scott
Mm.
Peterson session.
Oh no, Steph, nobody's accused me of that. Is that what you mean? No, 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 no. Nobody's accused me of what? What do you mean in particular? Like of thinking that he's guilty? Because no, nobody said anything like that. And I don't think he's guilty. I mean,
Oh,
uh
Did you say you
right.
don't or you do?
I don't think Scott is innocent. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like,
No,
what?
I was sorry. I was reading chat
Yeah.
and I got confused on my words. Let me be clear. I don't believe that he is innocent. I think he
Right.
is guilty. Like 99% chance. But then there's a 1% chance of me that is not sure because I didn't watch this.
Right.
I wasn't into it when it was hot and heavy back 20 years ago,
Right. Me either. So
Um,
that's why I'm trying to go through all kinds of things and see different sides and even the trial stuff there a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
But they're coming out
Um,
with this for a reason. So it's to question. I want to know what they find from these things here.
right. Yep. Morgana says, I want to know. And my brain starts singing, I want to know what love is.
She got throw her into song.
uh, okay. So Patricia says, agreed, Jenny. I don't think he's innocent, but I also don't think he got a fair trial. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And so it was kind of the same way with like the whole Alex Murdaugh thing today. I think he's guilty as sin, right?
Right. Right.
But if what
Agreed.
happened really happened with the whole Becky Hill thing, then the dude, in my opinion, should probably get a fair trial.
Right. Because you have to do that because that could be anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could be somebody that is innocent. And if you don't
Um,
do it for one, then, you know, that sets a
right.
precedence for others.
Right. Exactly. Sorry, I
Yes.
had to cough. I had to mute myself because I got a strangled there a minute.
Steph, I am old. Really old.
And then the same thing goes with Richard Allen with
Mhm.
Delphi. I don't know if the man's guilty or not. I kind of have my suspicions now that the state is acting all kinds of weird about it, but
There's a lot of strange stuff in that.
Oh,
yep.
yes.
Major.
And I really, I was telling Morgana and JB earlier, and QB also, that there's a lot of information that came out. Well, not information, like it's not like leaked information or nothing like that, but a bunch of like motions and um, them like asking the judge to be withdrawn again, and all these
Mhm.
different things happened over the course of today, and I think late on Friday or something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. I want to talk about that tomorrow. I know, the Murdaugh case was, or the Murdaugh hearing was supposed to be 3 days. So I kind of like set that aside. But then today, whenever we got off of the live stream earlier, I started getting like ding, 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 ding. And there's like, yeah, stuff left and right flying out from Delphi, and
Yeah.
affidavits and a motion to compels. And then there's a contempt of court on one thing. And it's just crazy pants. But
And then
anyway,
you said something about Tucker's judge.
yes,
Yes.
I thought that was interesting.
yes, you guys. Hold on a minute. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta go find it. Let me go find it, and I'm just gonna show it to y'all because what the heck? Why not? Right?
There you
Right.
go.
I'll just show it to you so you can see it for your own dang selves. Hold on. Let me go find it and save this. Let me save it. Save. Now, let me come back over here.
In regards to the Delphi case, I got to show Jenny and Morgana just a little bit of the files that I have.
Oh my God. Insanity.
And those
Insanity.
and
Crazy.
those are most court documents. So whenever we decide to do a deep dive on Delphi,
Yeah,
JB Mama got a little bit to show.
a little bit. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share this as an overlay. Well, wow. You can't even see that.
That's little bitty.
Yeah, hold on. Let me try this a different route. Hold on a second. I have to open this up larger. I have so many screenshots on my laptop. I'm like, what's what? What is what?
I bet.
Is this
That's
it?
one way to put it, QB.
That's not it.
He said hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, baby. I can't find it now. Dang it. Okay, well, I will just tell you that the judge, I think his last name is Jones, the judge
Yeah.
from the
Yeah. Mark
Treehouse
Jones.
murder trial, the one that we love so much,
Hmm.
has recused himself.
I said he's
Yeah.
probably having a nervous breakdown or something after all
Mhm.
that.
He has filed I'm going to see if I can make this. It's not letting me make it bigger, but I don't know if you guys can you even see that at all? It won't let me make it bigger.
No.
I can see it a little bit, but on the computer. If I was on my phone, no, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So basically it's just a letter from him to the court, state, whatever, saying that he's disqualifying himself and recusing himself from the Treehouse murder case. He's like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yep, I'm out. Tap out.
I'm done.
Tapped out.
Yeah, exactly. QB.
Threw the
He
flag
said,
in.
QB said he said deuces. Oh my God.
Hi, Mary Lou.
Hey, Mary Lou.
Hi, Mary Lou.
Oh, QB says Jenny made me get X. QB says in Delphi, one of the victims took video and recordings of the guy that came up to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely, QB. She said that little girl deserves a medal for getting those recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she basically, in short order, helped find the person that murdered her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
QB says, can we please have a moment of silence for the fact that Jenny made me okay? Made is a strong word. Get X today. Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna deal with this again. Exactly, Henny. Henny's like, wait, what? Yeah. Yes. Steph refuses
Yeah.
to get Twitter. Sherry's not surprised. QB says, I don't know. I think Tucker got to him, calling him out. He was kind of a bit biased in the beginning. Ay.
Believe it or not, I'm a good researcher, but I don't have Twitter/X.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Well, Mary Lou, QB says that I forced her to get a Twitter account. I forced her to get Twitter again. I can't blame him either, Billy. I can't blame him either, but QB says, okay, deleted. Oh, nice try. But yeah, so let's get into the robbery part, because the information that I have written down that I was able to grab was everywhere that the Croton watch was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if it will let me do it from here now, the search feature. What do I want to type in? Robbery? Or do I want to type in Medina?
Medina burglary.
Okay.
I will say on the original document, it does start on page 13, though.
Yeah, that's where I saw it to begin with, was page 13 on here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where it actually like talks about it, right?
Yes.
But I know we kind of read through a bit of that.
Mm-hmm. And then once that beginning portion of that document's over with, page 64 starts a declaration.
Okay, so should I just go straight to 64 then?
You then will have to skip 68 through 120 because that's a bunch of repeat from LA Innocence Project.
Okay. So let me share this real quick. And then the crotch watch, says Steph. Present PDF. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So this is page 13. I'll just read this real quick, but it's talking about the Medina burglary. So the Medinas are the couple that lived in the house across the street from Scott and Laci Peterson.
Right.
So here it just says a complete copy of the Modesto Police Department's investigation into the burglary of the Medina's home at 516 Covina Avenue, Medina burglary, located directly across the street. And then it gives the dates, and then it talks in below that about the different pieces of evidence that they wanted, like recordings and police reports, witness statements, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I'm going to go to, what page was it, JB?
64 starts the declaration.
So is that basically just the next spot where it actually talks about it then?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is Paula Mitchell.
If you want to skip that, we can go to his initial request for habeas corpus on 129.
129. I feel like we went through a lot of this here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just look through it and double check. I feel like we went through that. 129.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Awesome sauce. Okay. This is hold on a second. Let me get this thing here so I can go up and down instead of using the mouse. The habeas corpus thing, by the court, petitioner's motion to suspend informal briefing in support of petition for writ of habeas corpus is granted for 6 months from the filing of this order.
And then you're going to have a response.
Okay, this was okay, this is the response from the Innocence Project to her. This is the back and forth, kind of like argument, I think. Not argument, but just sort of the back and forth between the Miss Mitchell and this Laguero dude, where he's basically saying, she basically says, I would prefer to have somebody else look into this and speak with me regarding the matter instead of the original prosecution.
Right.
And then he comes back and he's like, well, but that's not how this usually works. And then they just go back and forth. District Attorney Jeff Laguero has received your request regarding the informal discovery request related to the matter of the people versus Scott Peterson. He's asked me to respond to you directly. In reference to your statement about potential concerns in this office assignment of the original prosecutors, we completely disagree that your cited materials provide any basis for removal. District Attorney Laguero is completely confident in having the original prosecution team respond to any and all requests in any subsequent post-conviction matters. You may not be aware, but it was our team that brought newly discovered information to the attention of inmate Peterson's lawyers in the court during his last habeas matter. Our transparency during the alleged juror misconduct issue is part of the record, and District Attorney Laguero has no intention of removing our team and our valuable experience from any post-conviction project related to this matter. Your 64-page request lists a few items. Just a few. I want to get to
is the one. I think 186 is the declaration from the Susan Medina.
Okay, that's what I wanted to. Let's 186. I wanted to get to. Okay, is that looks teeny tiny for me?
It's a little small, but it's smaller,
Here, let me make it
compared to others.
Bigger. Okay. So the declaration of Susan Medina, she's the woman that owned the house that got robbed across the street.
Right.
She says, I, Susan Medina, hereby declare under penalty of perjury that the following is true and accurate to the best of my knowledge. In December 2002, my husband, Rodolfo Rudy, and I lived at 516 Covina Avenue in Modesto, California. Started living in, started living in. Oh, I bet that
House.
little thing is her initials,
Yes.
SM.
Yes.
Okay. Started living in the house in May of 1979 and lived there until 2012. Our house was directly across the street from the residence of Laci and Scott Peterson at 523 Covina. Our neighborhood was very close knit. Our neighbors all looked out for one another and would take notice when something was amiss in the neighborhood. I recall instances of seeing Laci interacting with people out on the street. In one instance, I was inside my home and recall Laci yelling at some teenagers who were in her yard and told them to get out of her yard. I also recall having a conversation with one of our neighbors. Something. Lily. I don't know what that's supposed to say. About an incident she witnessed. Oh, it's Lil Eichard.
Yeah. Something like that.
About an incident she witnessed involving Laci. Lil told me she witnessed Laci confronting and yelling at some people who were fighting in the street on Covina. I believe that conversation occurred after Laci's disappearance. We both commented on how Laci was feisty and protective in that way. Lil, who was herself Portuguese, commented that that must be the Portuguese in Laci. Lil is now deceased. 4 says, I recall another occasion when I was outside my home pruning some of my plants. Laci spotted me and came up to me because she saw that I was doing a terrible job of pruning. She told me in a polite way that I wasn't pruning my plants correctly and that there was a better way to do it if I wanted to help them grow better. I recall that while thinking Laci was very polite, it was also very bold of her to come tell me how to do my pruning. How dare you come tell me how to prune these flowers or plants? When we first moved to the neighborhood, there was not much foot or bike traffic on Covina. Back then, typically the only people out and about on the street lived in the neighborhood. At some point, the city constructed a pedestrian walkway bridge over Dry Creek in the park, connecting Scenic Drive to Covina Avenue. Now, isn't Dry Creek the little spot behind that hospital where that park is?
I'm not sure. Probably because it's by the park. I mean, they connected it to like two neighborhoods, I think it says.
Okay. Um, when this bridge went up, there was a large increase in foot and bike traffic on our street. This created a thoroughfare for people from the airport district, which was a fairly high crime area, traveling on foot or bike to the area of Modesto north of the park. The presence of homeless and transient people also increased when the Modesto Gospel Mission opened at the corner of Yosemite and Rufino Avenue, which operated at that time as an overnight homeless shelter. I recall that every morning around 6 a.m., the shelter would close and the occupants would have to leave for the day, many of them traveling on foot through our neighborhood. With the increase in foot traffic, we also started to have more people digging through our trash and recycling on a regular basis. We started taking added precautions when we noticed an increase in foot and bicycle traffic on our street. Let me read this last paragraph and then I'll get back with you guys. On December 24th, we were in the final stages of constructing a covered patio in our backyard. The covered patio was on the south and east side of the house as depicted by the shading below. Attachment A is a photo accurately depicting the patio construction on December 24th. The photo was taken sometime after December 24th. The photo shows a south-facing side of our home. So I remember seeing these photos,
Mm-hmm.
if they're in here. Okay, this is like a little depiction.
Right.
So you have the house here, the Peterson home here, and then here's the Medina home, and this is the road in between. So I know they said they lived like catty corner from each other, right?
Hmm.
The French doors would be here, and then view direction depicted in attachment A. Okay. Patio still had appearance of an unfinished project because the framing and underside of the new patio cover had bare wood and was not yet painted. Huh. When we left home at around 10:30 a.m. on December 24th, we had large manila envelopes as outgoing mail in our mailbox. I worked mostly from home and mailed out several manila envelopes that day to applicants. The mailbox was located to the right of our front door. Attachment B is an accurate depiction of our mailbox and where it was located on December 24th. Photo was taken sometime after December 24th. Um, and then here it says attachment C is an accurate depiction of what the outgoing mail looked like in our mailbox that morning. When we left our house around 10:30 a.m. on the 24th to go out of town to visit relatives over the holiday, we locked the gate to our backyard before leaving. As we were driving down Covina, Rudy pointed a man out to me that looked suspicious. This man was wearing a flannel shirt and was slowly riding past our house on a bike while heading north on the east side of Covina. He was not actively pedaling when we passed him, but was kind of slowly walking his bike. He was a white man, and the look, he's got the look. The look of him made me feel uncomfortable. He looked out of place, and something about him made me nervous. We circled the block by turning right on Encina, right on Santa Barbara, right, and then on to Covina. It would have only taken us less than a minute to circle the block. I did not see the man when we drove back by our home on Covina. With the way that Covina is situated, had he taken the path into the park, we would have seen him by the time we circled back, but we did not see where he went. All right. Let me go over here to you guys. Are there any pictures? Pictures?
Yes, we are going to get down to pictures on, I believe, page 195.
Okay, good deal. Let me check on the chat with you guys. Oh, wait. Steph says, wait, is JB really Rhonda Rich, the writer? Who's Rhonda Rich?
Oh, no.
Steph says JB's a secret FBI agent. I believe that she is.
Shh.
Mary Lou says, I must have missed a lot of something. Oh, Mary Lou, were you in the Alex Murdaugh video today, the live stream we had earlier? Get off my lawn, right? Ooh, Steph says Portuguese, feisty and protective and nosy. Bubbles Crafty Corner said, yeah, he ran far away, saying at the same time, I also kind of thought he would. What? What does she mean? What's that mean? I'm confused.
I am too.
The lady who asked for a better seat at the Murdaugh trial that said she was a Sunday school teacher. Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was like, who is that? Okay, let's get back over here to this. I want to get down to the picture as soon as we get through this. All right, so number 12.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I have to click and then use my little arrow button. When we returned from our trip to LA on December 26th, we were shocked by the presence of so many media vans on Covina. After showing our IDs to law enforcement on Covina, We approached our house. I remember Rudy noticing our dolly in the front yard as we pulled in. Rudy entered the back doors of our house, which had been kicked in, and had me wait outside. Rudy then came running out of the house and announced that we had been robbed. Immediately, the police, which were focused on the Petersons' home, started coming over to us and our residence, and we reported the burglary. The detectives were going back and forth between the Peterson residence and our house. I remember being concerned that with all the media there, that the reporters were going to think that we were suspects in whatever had happened at the Peterson home, since the police were now looking at our house. She's like, hurry up and figure something out, because I don't want them thinking that we did something to her.
Yeah.
I was also concerned because they were not wearing shoe coverings when going back and forth between the houses, and I was concerned about cross-contamination of evidence. Ooh, thank you, JB.
Yep.
I'll look at that here in just a second.
Yes,
At some point, I remember Doug Lavelle coming over to our residence. He was working with Modesto Police Department. I knew Doug's wife, Peggy, through work. I recall Doug coming into our house to look at evidence. I walked him and the detectives through the house, pointing out things that were out of place. I just cleaned the house ahead of our trip so I could tell what had been touched by the burglars. I recall offering to the police that they could take the French doors if they needed them as evidence. I remember they had been kicked in and there was a footprint on the doors. They declined to take the doors.
she said, just take the whole dang door, y'all.
Right? Just let me unscrew this from this wall here. You can just take the whole thing. I remember when we entered our master bedroom, Rudy's hammer from his shed and one of his work gloves were on our bed. The head of the hammer was wrapped in the glove in such a way that made me think it was being used to suppress the noise of using the hammer to hit something. I do not believe the police collected either the hammer or the glove. I cannot recall whether they swabbed either of them or checked them for fingerprints. Also on the bed was a statue of the Virgin Mary, which had been on the top of the safe. Again, I recall pointing that out to the police so that they would know the burglars touched that. Lord have mercy. You burglars really are going to take the Virgin Mary off the safe so you can steal it. Jeez. Next to the statue was an envelope that I kept our monthly allowance of cash in. I recall there being about $400 in the envelope when we left. When we were returned, the envelope was missing the majority of the majority? Will they leave like two $1 bills? Or how do you...
Here's $10 for you.
Right. Here's $10 to put back in the new safe that you buy, to replace this one.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. JB sent me a... oh, excuse me. I'm going to start hacky. Let me do the... hold on a second. I got to do the...
I think you gotta do the thing to share the thing.
I know, right? Trying to figure out how I do the... what do you call it? Because I usually do this from my phone and not... my laptop. Okay, hold on. I think I'm getting it. Oh, crap. She sent me this.
I might be able to send it to you in back chat.
Well,
if it could.
Sorry, guys. Un momento. Hold on a second. We're going to take a field trip if I can get this figured out.
Whee, field trip.
Yee.
We're gonna go flying.
Oh, wait. Why is that trying to do that? That's not what I wanted. Hold on. How do I do, like, because I don't have Google Earth.
Oh, it's not Google Earth. It's Google Maps.
Okay. Right.
Here, look in back chat.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Okay, let me open this up. It's the same thing. It's the same. Okay, let me see if I can just... Oh, wait, there we go. I got it. Thank you. All right, so we're... let me go back over here into the chat, and we're going to... let me share this. Share this tab. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So this here is the Medina house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I can figure out how to do this from my... Right there. This... Hold on, let me... Whoa!
Slow down.
See, I'm used to grabbing it and pulling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This
there it is.
here is the Peterson house. Okay, this is
pretty much straight across the street then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally like catty corner, right? So if you like, here's their house here,
Yeah.
and then you turn over here, and there's
the Medina's
Medina's house.
Medina.
So they're I'm gonna go over this way. Let me see if I can scooch down here. What happens if
you click the map portion, that'll give you should give you an overview. But that's a street. You're walking to Google on the street right now.
Right. I'm trying to look and see, is that that's not it, is it?
Give me a second.
I don't think so, no.
No, there's
Is
not.
there an alleyway?
There's in the middle of the three.
them?
In a row of three, they're the middle one.
Okay, so they're the middle. I was just trying to see if I went down this street right here, if I could see the back of their house.
No, you're not going to be able to.
Okay.
It's too big of a property line in there.
Okay. Doggone it. Well, I tried. But you would have been able potentially to have seen, if I can do, wonder if there's like a Zillow.
Yes, there is. Hold on, I'll send it to you.
Ooh, doggies.
She's on it.
Oh, God, this.
I always do the Zillow thing. Shoddy police work all around, says Steph. Maybe they had $2 bills in there and thought it could be traced. Well, you know how it is with, $2 bills. They only have so many of those. So there you go. Sherry said, I think the robbery of that house was a cover up to confuse the officers a little bit, but who knows? I could be wrong. but my gut feeling is not wrong very often. Steph, I know, right?
JB's on it.
She is. My brain don't work that quick. My brain don't function. It don't fire that fast.
Mine either.
Yeah. The only way it does is if I'm like prepared for it, and I am usually not prepared.
Just don't have the time.
That's not no, I don't. And
It's loading.
I passed their house up. Hold on, their house is up here. Not the Medinas, but the Petersons. That's it. So their driveway is right here. This is the Scott and Lacey's.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Right here or right over, I'd say it was right here. Unless, I don't know, when was that house built? Was that house there back? Oh, I don't know if that house was there back in when that all happened.
I wonder which house the neighbor lived in that put the dog in the backyard.
Yeah, I don't know. Her name was something service. Something service.
Mm-hmm.
But this would be their driveway, and then this is their house. And the gate, I'm assuming, is this gate right here is where they would have
Yeah, it looks like it.
put them in. Can see there's like their mail box potential. Or wait, is that the door to the house?
That's that side gate that everybody keeps
okay.
talking about.
Okay. Let me look at it from. No, it's too far. Dang it. But you can see like either here, like that corner or the corner over here would have been where Scott poured that. Which I mean, maybe it's been redone 2 or 3 times since then. Heck, if I know, 20 years ago, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on just a minute.
What did she say? They left a few bucks.
My battery died on my mouse, so I'm having to do all this with my fingers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That house sticks out like a sore thumb. The big one, you mean? This one? It does, right? It's like, hey, we got a big house.
Yeah.
It's a pretty house, but it's like right there in amongst all these like small.
One story.
Yeah. But you look at this street though. I mean, there's neighbors, but Encina, this is Encina here. And I don't know what route she took,
Right.
Sorry if you guys are getting seasick. Oof. I'm going to let, if we don't find one, that's fine. If you don't worry about it, JB, if you can't find one, no worries.
I got it. I'm just going to reshare that link with you that I have on the, I have all the sites. And it's going to be the very bottom one. That's the best way I can do it.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to resend what you sent me like earlier tonight?
Earlier tonight. It's just going to be the one on the very bottom. It's going to send you the direct link.
Okay. She's like, hold on, let me add this to my let me add this to my master list, right?
I have a master list.
I don't know how she keeps track of all of it.
I don't
Oh, you should see
either.
my files.
I can't imagine. I saw a little bit of it. Stuff
Yeah.
you had.
That was all for Delphi. That wasn't even all of it. That's why I said I'm going to need an external hard drive before too much longer.
Okay, so hold on, and I will share this. Wait,
Yeah,
Steph's talking about it's like an NBA player at a kid's birthday party at McDonald's. What is?
Yeah,
That
Oh, the house,
Mm-hmm. How it stands out.
right?
Exactly.
Oh
oh,
my
that's funny.
God. Okay, here we have the Zillow. Poppy, quit scratching at the door, little Miss Poppy. Okay,
Now
let me
that's
make
on
sure you guys.
the Medina house. This is not what was the Peterson house.
Right. Okay, so let's scroll. Where's the home details? Do they have where's usually where they have the photos at? I'm not used to
Scroll on
doing
the
all
other
this
side.
from my laptop.
Go on the other side. Put your mouse on
Other
the
side
other
over
side.
here?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yes. Click. Well, you should be able to click on one of the photos and then they'll be able to give you more if they have it
Okay.
available.
My gosh, that's outrageous.
I know, right?
For a 3-bedroom.
They may
Yeah,
not have
it's
very many
not.
available on there if it's not a listed house.
Yeah, they don't. Well, this is a Google map. I think it's gonna, yeah, that's what I thought it would do. But
It's gonna make you
so
wiggle it.
they said that the
Oh,
would have
zoom
been on
in.
the which side? The south side?
Yeah, zoom in. They're on your left-hand side of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Over
a patio
here.
right there. Yep.
Oh, it's like a little, what do they call it in the Golden Girls? A lanai, kind of.
Look, I'm from the south. That's a front porch.
I know, right? Bonk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a front porch. So their door's over here. But where was I thought that they said that they were doing something with the back patio.
Yeah, I think so.
That was possibility. It could be behind the garage.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because she gave, what was it? I can't remember what she said. Let me go back up here and look.
They're going to show a picture of it here later in the.
Yeah, on down.
Yeah.
All right.
Where you've been reading.
Okay. Let me
show,
get
like,
back
the
to
front
where
and
I'm
the back.
at. Here.
That's all for the
Hold on.
field
I don't want
trip.
to. Well, the field trips are always fun. They really are. I enjoy that, especially when you find Zillows that has like all the rooms and it shows like windows and all that stuff.
Yes.
Let me share back over here on this tab. Is it showing it? No, hold on.
You're still on Zillow.
There
You
we
meant to close
go.
it, Zillow. There you go.
All right, now I'm back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the $400, that was all they left. They left very little money in the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I'm saying is why in the world didn't they just take the whole envelope with the money? And if you're going to take it, take it. Don't dig through it and be like, oh, I think I'll leave him $5.
Right. I mean, what's the purpose of that?
Right.
Yes,
Steph said they
the
left a
police.
few bucks for the Virgin Mary as an apology. That's what Steph
Right.
said.
Sheesh.
Maybe.
You never know. I mean, maybe they felt guilty and was like, I'll leave a little bit.
Yeah.
What says here, when I suggested the police fingerprint items in our home that had been touched or disturbed, the detective told me that I watched too much CSI. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Yeah.
Before 2000, my husband and I were concerned about Y2K. So we made sure that we had stash of cash in our home amounting to around 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot
After
of cash.
2000, we started spending some of the cash, taking out around 10,000 for a trip to Denver to celebrate our parents' anniversary. After various expenditures, we had roughly 30,000 left in the safe in December of 2002. The cash was stored in paper wrapped bundles inside of a Bank of America cash bag. Well, inside our home, we had a calendar on the side of the refrigerator that noted both myself and Rudy were off work. The calendar noted LA on December 25th and RTH from LA, return home from LA. On December 26th. Attachment D is a copy of the actual calendar that was on our refrigerator on December 24th. When we returned from our trip, we checked our mailbox. I specifically recall that only 3 items were in my mailbox, including one red envelope containing a Christmas card, one "Have you seen me?" mass mailer, and a 3x5 solicitation. The "Have you seen me?" mailer was not related to Laci Peterson. The 3 items of mail were small and did not protrude from my mailbox. After Rudy and I learned about Lacey's disappearance, we immediately became concerned. We did what we could to offer relief to the Peterson family. We asked them to use our home as a safe place to get away from the media frenzy that was going on in front of their home. I recall one day when Scott's father, Lee, was mowing the lawn, people gathered in the street were shouting obscenities at him. Can you imagine?
Mm-mm. No.
The bright lights from the media vans were a constant presence. I recall getting a pair of red slippers for Scott's mother, Jackie, so she could put them on and relax when she came over to my house to get away from the chaos going on outside her son and daughter-in-law's home. I recall one evening right after we returned home and learned that Lacey was missing. Scott was at our house, and I stood next to him to try to comfort him. I told him that Rudy and I were concerned because among the items that were in our safe that was stolen were 2 guns of Rudy's. The guns were licensed and registered, but we would have felt horrible if any harm came to Lacey through the use of our guns. When I was telling Scott of our concerns, he started to cry. I put my one hand on his shoulder to comfort him. Oof. We were told that the police arrested 2 individuals for the burglary. The police never showed either me or my husband any pictures of the men that they had arrested to see if we could identify them. When I think back, I can't help but wonder if the man we saw just before leaving our house who was on a bike was involved. Police started coming by. I'm going to have to start skipping so we can get through some more quicker. Property showed me was mine. I recall being shown jewelry that included a small opal stone, a tiny sapphire, and a little emerald ring that were not mine. I also recall seeing jewelry that I thought were fake and did not recognize. I informed the officers that those were not mine. The cash we had stored in the safe was never returned. Oh my goodness.
Do you see number 26?
One of the police detectives doing the investigation mentioned to me that one of the burglars admitted to making a call from inside our home.
Did they check that, you wonder?
Oh, I'm sure they did.
27 says, I was never asked by police whether my husband or I heard anything unusual coming from the Peterson home on the evening of the 20th. So they don't say anything else about the phone call?
Mm-mm. Nope.
One of the detectives doing the investigation mentioned to her, Susan Medina, that one of the burglars admitted to making a call from inside their home. I still don't understand how they think the 3 hours. Remember how they said that when the Medinas got home, they informed them that the burglars had been there for 3 hours? Like, I still don't know how they know 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't either. That doesn't make sense.
Unless they're just going by the word of the burglars, but
Yeah. Like you believe anything they tell you?
right.
And number 28 is pretty interesting too.
One thing that they keep saying over and over though is, oh well, the burglars, they said they didn't have nothing to do with Laci's disappearance. Okay, and
So you're just gonna say, all right, we'll believe you.
yeah, you're going to jail for the burglary anyway, but okay, we believe you didn't have nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
28 says, when we went on our trip, we left our dog, Diana, in the backyard of our residence. Diana would often bark. Why do they keep calling her Princess?
Princess Diana.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Maybe that was her, official name.
You're right. I didn't think of that. Good call. Good job. Good call on that one, Morgana. Because I was like, here in my mind, I'm thinking, Lord, they're so old that they thought it was Princess, but no, Princess had already died. It was Diana, the other dog they were talking about.
Yeah. I'm
When
guessing
we
anyway.
went
I
on
don't
our
know.
When we went on our trip, we left our dog Diana in the backyard of our residence. Diana would often bark whenever anyone approached our house. Had the burglary happened in the middle of the night or early morning, Diana would certainly have barked and made a ruckus. No neighbors, police, search party members, or anyone else ever reported to us that Diana made any noises early in the morning on December 26th. So wait a minute, how they were gone for 2 days
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and they left their dog in the backyard the whole time
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
in December?
Right.
No, I don't think it was that cold there, though, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I
No,
mean,
the temperatures was only up to like 30. I have to go back and look, but they were pretty cool for California.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we went on our trip, we left our dog Diana in the backyard of our residence. Diana would often bark whenever any. I mean, it's one thing to leave him outside for a couple hours,
Yeah, but there's
but
people
Right.
that have outside dogs, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what kind of dog it was. I don't know. Maybe it was like some dogs are better in the cold weather than other dogs, I guess.
yeah.
If it ain't a little frou-frou dog, maybe it'd have been okay. But if it's a little frou-frou dog, then it wasn't going to be okay.
Yeah, if it had been a little foo-foo dog, they would have took it with them, right?
Yeah, you would think.
I don't know. Anyway, so they went on their trip. They left their dog outside, and they're saying that not Princess, Diana would often bark when anyone ever came towards their house. Had the burglary happened in the middle of the night or early morning, Diana would certainly have barked and made a ruckus. No neighbors, police, search party, or anyone else ever reported to us that Diana made any noises early in the morning on December 26th. Okay, wait a minute. I'm
Well,
still
wouldn't the police
confused. What's
have
the
been
26th got to do with it?
because didn't they say that they thought
Mm-hmm.
that the burglary and stuff took place on the 26th or something?
Yep.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah, they believe that it was the 26th.
The police said
Yeah.
that, didn't
Yeah.
they originally?
Yeah, the burglars thought that they did it on the 27th. I'm like, oh no.
Well, they were
So
intoxicated or high on something.
even that, what's his name? Ted Rowland? who was a news reporter. He was
Mm.
on that A&E special. He was one of those that said something like, there couldn't have been nobody burglarizing nothing because I was right out there. He said, if I'd have seen the burglars, I'd have interviewed them because I was out there, he said, at like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with any of those days after the 24th, because the news was there, the police were there.
Yep.
How can, I mean, that close? You saw how close it was.
Yeah, literally right across
And
the
they're
street.
carrying out a big safe? I don't think so.
Right. No.
That's why I call bogus on that business.
Yeah, yeah.
No. I mean,
Now, I did hear him say somebody there was a difficult clavicle at some point saying something like, "Oh, well, um, so and so said that, that this was a pretty local story at first and they weren't like covered in media and press right away."
yeah.
And so maybe they did have time to go burgle the house if they didn't know local news was going on that this chick was missing and they're looking all over the place for her. But still, that Ted Rowland dude was like, I was there
Yeah.
like from the get-go.
Right. I would think
And
local ones might have been, maybe not the national ones.
yeah, well, I think Ted Rowland was one of the local, like
Hmm.
for the big networks, like CNN, or he was like worked for like one of the affiliates locally there.
Right.
If that's his name, I could be wrong on the name, but it was something like that. 29 says, I've always been bothered by the lack of investigation of the burglary of our home and the possible connection to Laci's disappearance. So that was Susan Medina. Now, I'm going to assume if there is a declaration from Rudy Medina, it's going to be very similar. I don't know if there is or not, but I would like to see these pictures. So I'm going to scroll down,
I know it's
and
got pictures.
this is it. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely the back. You can see how big of a patio this is.
Hmm. It's L-shaped, kind of.
Yeah. I'm going to zoom out so I can try to get the whole picture in. Oh, nope. Wrong way. Go back up, Jenny. Go back up. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, you can see. Okay, well, she's like, I don't know what doors was kicked in unless it was one of those. Because obviously there is like, she said it was mostly like what, bare wood and fresh concrete or something.
Yeah.
Look, they took the French doors trying to help the detectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the front of the house. This is the Medina house?
Yeah.
Okay. So it does look a lot different now than it did.
Well, they've added because in the fence right there where that door is.
Yeah. Yeah, that
little
little area that we talked about being like the front porch. So they added quite a bit onto here, this area.
Right.
And then this out here was the open spots that we saw,
Jenny, I gotta go do something real fast. I'm gonna mute, okay? But I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Scroll down. Exhibit C. Here, okay, this is her mailbox. It says photos of Medina's mailbox taken in 2009. Mailbox has been relocated from its previous location near the front door to a constructed wall in the front yard. This photo depicts how the outgoing mail looked. Okay, so they're just basically saying This is not the same mailbox. It's not even in the same location, but this is a depiction of what it would look like when I put manila envelopes in the mailbox.
Right.
Because they would hang out and stick out because they're big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Exhibit D is the calendar. So we have the calendar. And I forget what we were looking at on the calendar.
I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
They
It's
were gonna be
whenever
gone.
when they were going to be gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see December 24th, and then 25th, 26th, 27th. It says off. Return from LA on the 26th. You can see it like right here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, look, payday. They got their paydays highlighted.
Don't blame them.
Yeah, right.
Money comes in.
So this is the declaration of Carl Jensen. I don't know who Carl Jensen is. I think we read it, but I don't remember.
He's a private investigator that was interviewing the burglars. I can't say that word right.
It's in support of his habeas corpus.
Oh, okay. Worked as an investigator for the defense in the case of, so he was on their side. In the course of my pretrial investigation, I interviewed Stephen Todd, one of the men who burglarized the Medina home across the street from the Petersons' home. I interviewed Todd 3 times in 2004. I understood that Todd had claimed that he had committed the burglary on December 26th. During my 3rd interview with Mr. Todd occurred on, During my 3rd interview with Mr. Todd occurred on August 27th, 2004 in the San Mateo County Jail. This was in the middle of Mr. Peterson's trial. I confronted Todd with Diane Jackson's statements that she had seen a safe on the front lawn of the Medina home and a van parked in front of the home at 11:40 a.m. on December 24th. In response, Todd became what I would describe as unglued.
Okay.
Todd came out of his chair, put his hands on the table, and leaned toward me, yelling words to the effect that you don't have a witness and you don't have a blankety blank thing. At that point, the female deputy sheriff came into the room to ask if I was okay. I told her we're fine. Todd was so angry that he informed me that he would invoke his right to remain silent if he were called to testify about the burglary.
Touchy.
Additionally, in that,
Touchy.
Oh, right, I know. Additionally, in that same interview, Todd informed me that he was so high on meth and crack for 3 days that I don't really remember anything I did. Todd later explained that this 3-day period was from December 24th through December 26th. That's very convenient. Okay. Mr. Todd. And now this is the declaration of Gary Ermoyan. I think we read through the vast majority of this.
Mhm.
This is the private investigator. Well, not a private. Well, he is, but isn't he the one that is this the one that worked with like the high, like one of the big news networks? Or no?
He's a private investigator.
So. He's talking about in here about the marina. He went to the marina and interviewed people that supposedly saw Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And didn't see like any thing in the boat, supposedly.
Yeah, this is majority about the marina and the boat and things along that line. We've not gone over this stuff.
Okay. There was, I wonder if he talks in here because in the, what do you call it? In the A&E documentary thing,
Uh-huh.
I think it was this dude that was saying that they had like actually got that what's the law? What was the lawyer's name? The defense lawyer.
Oh, Garagos?
Garagos.
Yeah. That Garagos had hired somebody to get in a fishing boat like just like that one with
Uh-huh.
150-pound weight and try to dump it into the bay without tipping the boat itself over. And they tried it like 3 or 4 times and they kept tipping, the boat kept tipping.
Right. And that's when the guy that I told you I listened to that was debunking all that, he said if you look at the pictures when they're doing that, they're putting their foot on the edge. And nobody would do that if they were actually throwing something over the boat.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because like you're leaning, it would be like, pushing it that way. So
instead of counterweighting it, you're going towards with the weight.
right.
So there's another thing. But
So
I'll send you that for sure so you can listen to him.
yeah, I would love to watch that. But which was I thought that this Gary dude was, who was the guy then that said that he had worked for CBS for X amount or ABC or whoever for X amount of years and that he was moved to Modesto when this first happened and was going through and believed full and wholeheartedly that this investigation, was, who was that?
That was a guy towards the end that we were.
Yeah.
Name. He was at the end of these papers.
Okay. Well, I was thinking it was this dude. So.
No, I think it's a different dude.
So here it says Gary Ermoyan is a private investigator licensed by the state of California. He's been employed full-time in law enforcement, private investigation for over 43 years. Lots of assignments, lots of experience, so to speak. This is basically his whatever you want to call it. CV, is that what they call them? Credentials. Prior to becoming a private investigator, I was a deputy sheriff with the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department for 4 years, from 1976 to 1980. He was contacted by lawyers with the Los Angeles Innocence Project. They informed me that they were investigating the case of People versus Scott Peterson, which I had been involved with as an investigator. I agreed to speak with them about my involvement with the case. I was asked to provide Mr. Peterson's attorneys with my views and opinions. I feel like we went through this.
Okay. Try going down after point 12. It talks about the marina.
I recall that Scott was assisting the search for Laci by working with a community volunteer center that had been set up at the Red Lion Inn in downtown Modesto. Volunteer Center was receiving calls and tips from community members who were calling in to report information they believed to be helpful in finding Laci. Some of these callers were reporting that they had called the Modesto Police Department tip line and left messages, but they were not hearing back. Berkeley Marina. Initially, the police were questioning Scott's alibi and claiming that they were unable to confirm he had gone to the marina as he had told them. I was notified that on the 4th of 2003, a City of Berkeley gardener who works at the marina named Michael Evesta emailed the tip line the Peterson family had set up and reported that he had seen Scott in his truck and trailer at the marina on December 24th. On January 7th, I interviewed Mr. Ilvesta, and he told me that he saw Scott at the marina on the 24th. He identified Scott and his truck from the photographs that were circulating at the marina. Mr. Ilvesta recalled that he was driving through the parking area and saw that Scott was having a bit of trouble turning and backing his trailer down the launch ramp, and he had to stop and wait because there wasn't enough room for a vehicle to pass when someone is backing down the launch ramp. Mr. Ilvesta stated that he reported what he saw to MPD Detective Rick Armendariz. A copy of my memorandum documenting my interview with Mike Vesta is attached hereto as Exhibit A.
Hey, Jenny, I think the guy you were talking about,
Yeah.
journalist, is that the one you were talking about a while ago?
Yeah, I think so.
His name was Mike Gugel. Gudgel. I don't know. It's Gudgell.
Gudgel?
I guess. But that was the guy, George Michael Gudgel, I guess.
Okay, well, I don't remember that name. I kept thinking it was this Gary or Moyen dude.
No, because that's the one towards the end that we went through on. He had a long, had a bunch of stuff in that you read through.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would have drove me nuts. On January 7th, I also contacted David Johnson, who told me that he was at the Berkeley Marina on December 24th and saw Scott's Ford pickup truck and the trailer parked in the parking lot near the launch. He explained that on Friday, the 3rd, he heard on the news that the Modesto Police Department was looking for people to confirm that they saw Scott or his vehicle at the marina. Hold on, I'm getting ready to get hacky. Let me get a drink of water.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson explained that he called the police on Friday, Saturday, and Monday, trying to give a statement and was finally able to speak to Detective Grogan on the 3rd try. Mr. Johnson stated that he was ticked off because the police were not making any effort to talk to the people who live at the marina to confirm Scott's information that he was there that day. He agreed to compile a list of names of people who were also at the marina and may have information and provide it to me. Here's another thing. So this just made me think of it when he says that the people who lived at the marina in that A&E special, Devil's Clavicle.
Yeah.
On the A&E special, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was this they were talking about how people at the marina that saw Scott in the boat and that just looking into the boat, there was no anything that looked odd.
Right.
Or like there was a human laying under a tarp or wrapped in a tarp or whatever.
Right.
And even the people apparently that lived in those boats on the marina, these people have their big houseboats parked on the marina and they live in them. Apparently there were some of those that saw Scott, and they're up higher than in a little bitty fishing boat,
Right. That's what this says here. And as you get a little bit farther, I think it talks about that in here too.
Okay.
But yeah.
It just kind of makes me think, if if she would have been wrapped up in a tarp, like a long, narrow parcel
Mm-hmm.
in a boat, you would be like, daggone, that looks like a body wrapped
Right.
up,
Right.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
it would
That's
be
where my
totally
mind would go.
something, right? And then it would be something
You
totally
know, JP's
different.
would go there. JP's be like, "That's a body."
Yeah, call 911. No,
For
she
Thank
wouldn't
sure.
even
you.
say. She wouldn't
I
even
need
say
to.
call 911. She'd say, "Give me that boat. We're going to go follow this dude and see if he's going to Dexter her or something." You know.
Yeah.
I
She'd be
need to
taking
make the
pictures,
model, the year, the
video,
color.
all
I need to make the model, the
Lord
year,
have mercy.
the color, the license plate,
license
the
plate,
dude's
pictures,
fishing license number.
video, interview the guy.
Yeah.
Oh Lord have mercy. Okay, so seriously though, you think about it, and you're thinking, okay, there's so he either or he either had it if he had her in that boat, he either had her wrapped up like I'm talking about, in a long, skinny human being wrapped in a tarp,
Right.
or he had her in there and then just kind of had a tarp covering it, and it just looked like a big, because it's not uncommon for men to have big tarps in their bass boats or their fishing boats, right?
Mm-mm.
Big what? Oh, tarps. I think
Tarps.
it's big parts.
And
So bad.
so, I don't know. I just don't. And I saw the like pictures of whoever it was that pretended to, or there was actually, I guess, during the trial, a pregnant woman who climbed in the boat and laid down a certain way and got into also inside the big green toolbox in the back of his truck, and she fit in both, and they
Yeah.
acted like it wasn't no big deal. But
Yeah, I kind of heard both ways. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's no way he could hide a body in it that somebody wouldn't see it. And then something else I was listening to, they talked about, oh yeah, it could be done. And so there we go again. Both sides.
let me go look. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look up something. Hold on. I'm gonna Google something real quick. See if I can. Um. Hold on. I'm trying to get all these cords out of my way so I can type on this computer. Um. And also, just talking about the boat, there were like apparently some pliers or something that had her hair in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But said that they were like rusted shut or something.
Yeah, I've heard that too, but then I've heard the opposite. I swear,
Mm.
every time you hear one thing, then the other side's got an explanation or like, you know, so it's hard
It's
to know
reasonable
which is
doubt.
right and which is not.
It's all reasonable doubt
Yeah.
until proven in law and in
Yeah.
court. It's all
Right.
reasonable doubt.
I can't find the picture that I'm looking for, but there's a picture that shows a pregnant female in the boat. And wait, is this maybe it?
If you can't find out, I'll see
Oh,
if
I
I can.
found it. I think I found it.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, yeah, I found it. I just need to see how to. Okay, let me share this screen. Okay, can you guys see this?
Hmm.
Okay, so here is just an example, right? This is, I think, this, like, I don't know. I think this is the exact boat. Is this the exact boat? His boat?
I
It
don't know.
looks to me like a 14-footer plain
Yeah, it
Jane.
looks
Yeah,
similar. I would think that's what they would use, but it may not be his.
right.
I don't know.
Anyway, so if he's trolling, he's going to be back here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
she's not going to be here. She's either going to be here or here because
Right.
he's sitting right here trolling that boat to get it out to where it needs to be, driving that boat out to wherever it needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, it's possible, but also this chick is not wrapped up in a tarp. Like, if she were wrapped up in a tarp, she is all the way at the top of this seat here. Like, you can see there's not much space between the side of her body and the edge of this seat row right here.
Right.
Right.
And also, if she's dead, one, how are you going to get, yeah, I mean, and I hate to say this, like, I don't mean this to sound callous, but a dead person is dead weight.
Right. That's what
It's not
QB
like,
was just saying.
Mhm.
yeah, it's not like you're going to be able to just get them to just be any certain way, you know. And then at the also, how long has she been dead? Is she stiff? You know,
Yeah.
Right. She got rigor mortis.
right? That's what I'm thinking.
And I was thinking about like if he had to throw her in the water and he's got concrete blocks on her, can he lift all that by himself?
Right.
Well, I mean, you're thinking because I'm thinking what they said was, I don't remember, JB. Do you remember what they said? Was there only one anchor or was there multiple anchors?
They could not prove whether or not
Right.
it was one or if it was multiples.
Steph, that's a good point right there. This chick doesn't look 8 months pregnant. I
Yeah.
couldn't curl like that at 8 months pregnant either. She's supposed to be pregnant, but and maybe she's not pregnant. Maybe it's just that she weighed the same thing that Laci weighed. But there's a difference between being 150 pounds and being 150 pounds and pregnant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as far as the way your body is shaped and stuff.
Also, too, moving somebody around that's already got rigor set in is dang near impossible because you
Right.
are not going to bend their body the way they want to, and rigor mortis sets in anywhere between an hour to 4 hours after death.
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't believe that, well, and I don't know either. Is this woman the same height as Laci?
I mean, you would think they would make sure she was if
You
they
would
were going to
think.
try to, show that.
I think these are his actual, I think that they're using his actual boat.
Yeah, the looking like the pictures in the document on further down, it looks very similar to that one.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I read that they used his boat, but the boat that they tried to tip over in the water or to see how to get the body out into the water without it tipping over, I
Hmm.
think Garagos actually bought a boat and they didn't use his
Scroll
boat.
down just a little bit, Jenny. I'm gonna look at the boat markings and see if they're the same.
Steph says, I feel like JB knows this from experience.
No.
Oh, hi, Tammy. Tammy's here too.
Oh, hey everybody. I'm not intentionally ignoring anybody in the chat. I'm just not I'm not there. I'm like we've been to the Peterson's house. We've been to the neighbor across the road's house. Now we're jumping in a boat.
It looks like
Doing
those
all
are
kinds of
the
stuff.
same numbers.
Yeah. Well, is that like evidence marker tape?
Hmm.
What is this yellow tape? Is that not like evidence mark? Like, and there's some
It's
back here
caution tape.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It
just,
looks
that's
like
what
it.
they use for marking off certain things. But it looks to me
Yeah.
like the same a boat ID number that's in our document that we're looking at.
Okay.
So,
Well, and they've got these evidence stickers here labeled on the photos too, down here and down here.
mhm.
There's more. Ooh, I didn't scroll far enough. There's another one there, and there's 3 pictures of her. There's one there, and then one here. I don't know what the difference is, but I guess from like at a farther away view, maybe. Or it looks like maybe it's showing her in all 3
Possessions of the boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all 3
of the boat,
compartments.
all 3 spots in the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the position she would not be in. If he is sitting here, because you drive it from back here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get in the boat and you drive it from here.
Yeah, you're on that light blue
Right.
chair, the blue and white
Right.
stripe. Yeah.
So if he's driving that boat out, she's not going to be here. There's no way. Well, I mean, where would he put his legs?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if she
So
was in the very front of the boat, is that a good position? And when he got out there, they'd have to get rid of the body. I don't know. At the front of the boat, is that he'd have to be wrestling, is what I'm saying, because of the weight and stuff.
yeah,
So I don't know if that's a good spot. Like, not a good spot, but you know what I mean. If
right.
that would be where he would have put her.
I don't know. I would think like,
Middle, maybe, but
well, let's look at the boat. Okay. Say there's a picture somewhere, and I'm not sure where it's at right now off the top of my head, but there's a picture of the boat attached to the truck. So if he's, which side does the truck hitch to?
The narrow part of the boat.
Up here at the top
yeah.
Mhm.
on the front end.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So here.
Mhm.
Right.
All right. So if like the boat was parked at the warehouse.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So say he kills her at home, loads her into the truck, and wholeheartedly, I believe if he did kill her, that he strangled her. I don't believe that because there was no blood evidence anywhere, right?
Right.
Right.
That's what I've heard of
Well,
anyway.
there was a spot of his blood on
On the
his
truck
side of the
door.
pickup truck. Yeah, truck door. Yep.
So, oh, that's another question I had. Was there any defensive wounds on, like, was there any scratches or anything on his arms or hands or face or anything?
He had a cut on his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He showed. He said he gets cuts and scrapes and stuff like that all the time because of his work.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Well, I
did have
mean,
a mark on his hand, and he said, "Oh, you're gonna see a spot of blood on my door. I got to cut this reaching in the toolbox."
Right.
yeah. Well, I mean, if it's your truck, you're a man, you do that kind of work. It's not, I wouldn't think, uncommon for there to be. I mean, Dale cuts himself all the time at work,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't be nothing for there to be blood somewhere in his vehicle.
Right.
But I'm just thinking if he puts her in the truck and he goes to the warehouse and then he, depending on where he parks his truck, if there's enough room in the warehouse to pull the truck in next to the boat, or if he's going to have, however he hitches that up, I'm just thinking it's going to be easiest for him to dump her out of the bed of the truck into this part of the boat.
Yeah, but how's it going to be when you're in the water?
I don't know.
Mhm.
But that's also his way of thinking. He probably don't know either. He probably never even thought about it, to be honest. You know? I mean, is he
Mhm.
thinking, which end of this boat should I put her in? Because I don't, like, if it were me, I don't know if I would have even thought that far in advance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he might not have either, but
you're right. I mean, would it have been easier for him to have dumped her out into the water from the front end of the boat or the middle of the boat?
I just don't know because I'm not sure. I'm not in a ton of boats, but is it less stable in the front?
Yes.
Like if you're trying to stand up and you're trying to like pick something up or a weight of any kind up and throw it over the
Yes.
side.
In a
I
little
would
boat
think,
like that, the
yeah,
front end of that boat is your most vulnerable spot.
right.
Okay,
And
well,
that's
what if
just from personal experience of going fishing. Okay. I'm like real bill fishing, not because of criminal aspects or nothing.
well, think if she's in the front of that boat, wrapped up in a tarp or under a tarp, maybe she's not even wrapped up in a tarp, maybe she's just under a tarp. And he's at the back. He drives out to wherever he dumps her. He climbs over this hold on, let me get over here where I'm trying to be. He climbs over this
Mhm.
and then he kneels on this on his knees, grabs her by the arms, whatever, and slide. I mean, if he can get the top part of her over, then the rest would follow, I would think.
And then he's gonna have the weights, however many he would have used.
Hmm.
I don't remember how much those weighed. Didn't they say that they weighed like 8 pounds a piece or something, or was it more?
For some reason, I'm thinking 8 pounds, but
I can't remember.
not positive.
No.
But I was wondering if because I know there was talk here and there about different anchors. Like I think I read somewhere somebody said 5.
I think they were saying 5 because of how much of Lacey was missing when she
Yeah,
washed up on shore.
they were saying 1 for each leg, 1 for each arm, and then 1 around her neck.
Hmm. But
Ugh.
not to sound gruesome, but in all reality, he would not have to have had 5.
No,
That would just have had 5 tying points.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Like tie her up and tie all 4 and then her neck
Hmm.
to 1 weight.
Hmm.
Ugh. I can't imagine.
Mm-mm.
Mm. I don't know. I just don't know that I just don't know that you can get somebody in a boat that's 8 months pregnant in a boat that size. And because this chick don't look 8 months pregnant to me. Period.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mhm.
I was bigger than her, and I'm probably shorter than that person right there. And I was bigger than that 8 months pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, obviously, but the fact that there were a handful of people that said they didn't see anything that would have even resembled anything under a tarp in his boat. So you think, and I here's something else that I was hearing or watched or read or whatever, that they possibly, Steph is like, BRB, I keep going back and forth to the kitchen for snackies. Right, Bubbles, Crafty Corner, that's what I said. There wouldn't be any room for his legs. There's no way your knees would be that high, says Steph. No, there's no way you could get your knees up that high. Like, if her belly is that big, she would have to be super short. That's why I'm wondering if this person in the boat is, I can't imagine that they would have somebody not the same size and width and height than,
Something comparable to.
yeah, like super close comparable. But what I was gonna say is that I heard somebody or read somebody had said that if it was not him and it was, say, the burglars or anybody else, that they could have, being the devil's clavicle here, and I don't want to say this callously either, but dismembered her prior to dumping her body. I mean, they could have, like, they say apparently they do that so that they can't
Identify
easily, right?
Mhm.
And so if they did that, because from what I heard or what I read, well, they said that fish and scavengers don't get through cartilage and bone and stuff, like not like that, not in the bay. You know what I mean?
that there ain't no piranhas there.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And water is not going to, and they also said that even there was testimony that the experts said that even with the current and the motion of the water and how fast the water moved and all that, that it wouldn't like wash away her body that in that manner.
Well, here's one thing they do have to think about, and I do remember reading something or hearing something or along that lines as well, that there is a sloughing of the skin that happens once it's waterlogged. And
yeah, just like you get in the bathtub or whatever, and your fingers.
Right. This is more way advanced.
Yeah,
this is if you touch it will,
It basically tears the skin away.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Once that barrier,
it was like 4 months.
Yeah. Once that barrier, your skin is gone. Your muscles, your tissue, your things along that line are a lot more susceptible to that environment. Yeah. So it would make it more degradable. I mean, it would degrade a lot faster.
Even though the bone and cartilage, I mean, the bone wouldn't. I mean,
at a joint, you don't have a consecutive bone, though.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I don't know that I understand about the whole like tape around the baby, around the neck and holding his ear down. And
or the bow tie with the plastic. I don't understand that.
I don't either. That threw me the other day when I heard that.
Yeah. And they said too that there was some sort of a tape that had like was holding his ear flapped forward or something. I mean, I understand that there's trash and bunk and junk in the water. I believe that, a piece of plastic or whatever could get wrapped around his neck. But the way they're making it sound is like that they said that it looked like he had been outside of the womb and somebody had handled him.
Something that was intentionally done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't she have tape on her? I thought they said thighs.
I think there was tape on her.
Like a couple, like a strip or two, or one on each leg or thigh. I mean, or something.
That's crazy because now, how was it the same kind that was on him? Did they say?
Yeah, but it's
I
the same
thought
black electrical tape.
Are you for real?
Mhm.
No way. That's not coincidence. Unless that place is floating with black electrical tape everywhere.
was it black tape or was it clear tape?
I
I thought it
heard
was
what was
black
on his
electrical.
ear was black like electrical tape.
I'm trying to remember what they said I'm trying to think.
Because it
Hold on,
said
let me
here,
I
look
think
let me show you my camera real quick. It said that his ear was like flopped forward like this and was like flopped over and stuck to his face with like black electrical tape is what I think it said.
hmm
And then he had like clear plastic around his neck, like tied in a
and a bow.
kind of like a bow. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was talking about then.
Yeah. I don't know. That just sounds weird to me. And then whenever I first heard them say that there was um like a tape texture or consistency on him, I was
Mhm.
thinking that they were trying to say it was like the umbilical cord had like came apart and this and that and it like left some sort of like sheen on him or something. I didn't know what they
Mhm.
meant. But now that
Yeah,
I know they mean actual tape, that freaks me out.
right.
Steph says, could she have started dispelling Connor vaginally like you pee and poop yourself at death? Could her body have been trying to void the baby? I don't know. They also said that didn't they say that what did they say about her uterus? Was it
She
still
had
like
plant life.
partially intact? Huh?
She had plant life in her abdomen. I know that.
Oh God.
Well, they think that's why Connor was found more intact because he had stayed her uterus and her body protected him enough,
Hmm.
you know, for a longer
Hmm.
time.
And her cervix was intact.
Right. So she hadn't had the baby, they said, before she was, like if somebody would have kept her to take the baby or to sacrifice the baby because there was rumors of that she hadn't had that baby vaginally
Right.
because there was no
Oh
like her
hi.
cervix was not thinned out and all that.
And yes, there was tape also found on Laci's lower torso outside of her clothing.
Okay.
Because
I'm gonna let you guys continue the discussion for a couple of minutes until I can get unplugged and out into the living room because Dale's and Jolie, they're both going to bed. So
okay,
listen to this mess. Do you hear them?
no, I don't hear them.
Oh my
I did.
lord.
The Jolie giggles.
Okay. Give me just a couple minutes. You guys continue the conversation. I'm enjoying hearing it.
All right.
um, Morgana, I don't know if you heard either or not, but the placenta and the umbilical cord were not found with the body either.
Right. And I also heard because I don't know what I was watching, but they were talking about the baby coming out. They were talking like, well, that could have happened because just over time, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But they were talking like it had come out through because she had pants on when they
Mm-hmm.
found her body, and then but they were speaking like it could have come out and went like out the pant leg, but
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand that.
Okay. So that's the Crime Weekly. You and I both listened to about this case.
Uh-huh.
And Derek was trying to explain to Stephanie that because she was like, how does this happen? She still had pants on.
Right.
And when the body relaxes or a portion of the body is missing, that what
Right.
needs to come out will come out at the only opening that there is.
Right, which I understand that, but what about the pants? How does it get beyond the pants?
It
You know
was
what I
it
mean?
came through the pant leg, like traveled down the pant leg.
That's just strange to me because depending on how the pants were, unless they were real blousey pants, you know what I mean? Like
Well,
full.
most maternity pants back in the early 2000s were. Everything was loose.
I
Nobody wore
guess,
clingy stuff. Everybody was all loose.
which could be, I guess, but I don't know. It just sounded strange to me. I was like,
Well, if you go back and you think about the picture of Laci at that Christmas party,
mm-hmm.
what she was wearing from waist down looked very loose, very flowing. It did not look like it was form fitting at all. Pretty much the only thing that was
Right,
form fitting was right around that belly, you know.
right,
But the rest of it was very loose.
which could be, yeah,
So if you have something that loose, then yeah, you know.
yeah. I don't, I don't know. It's just weird. Some of that doesn't make sense to me, you know?
Mhm. Mhm. It's hard to sit there and try to put into words something this gruesome, to
Mm-hmm.
where somebody can go, "Ay, okay," because you don't want to have to like describe it in detail like that. Most of us have a heart. We care about other human beings out there. So I mean, trying to describe something like this, it's horrendous. It's hard. You don't want to
Right,
go down that road, even though you're like, well, I can picture it in my sick head, but
right.
you know,
I know it is, and it's sad, and it's hard to believe anybody could do that to somebody else
hmm hmm
of any, no matter who they were, or I don't know. I just don't get it. But
yep,
sick, sick people out there, I guess.
yep. I'm reading an article from back in the early 2000s, trying to see if I can read anything real quick about. Um, I do know that one of the articles I sent Jenny is about the other woman that went missing that actually also was
Mm,
pregnant and turned up
mhm.
deceased. So,
Right. It's kind of the same circumstances, if I remember right.
hmm hmm
Yeah. But they said something about that in that episode where the guy was debunking the stuff, and he was like, but this lady, the father of the baby, was he married or something? And
I'd have to go
something
read
to the
that.
effect that they kind of pretty much said it was the father.
And I'd have to go back and reread about that one
Yeah.
article that I have. I've got really close to the same amount of articles as I do Delphi documents. So
Oh no.
trying to decipher.
Right. And trying to, I mean, like I said, there's so many things for both sides, So you're
hmm
like, okay, so which one of this, who am I supposed to believe in this?
Right,
That's what's hard.
right. hmm hmm And the thing
But
is
I know,
we're only seeing a fraction of probably
right,
what they have to
right.
go. Here's our evidence. Here's our just cause. Here's our, you know.
And what gets left out that might have been important.
hmm hmm hmm
I don't
I would not want to be on anybody's payroll that would have to pull any of the transcripts from the 19 weeks of trial.
exactly. That's horribly long.
hmm hmm Well, it's
Uh,
just like even listening today in the Alec Murdoch case, she was like 6 weeks is too long. That's a really long week, and I'm like,
yeah,
well,
that's what
Peterson
I
did
was
19 weeks.
I was thinking, oh, well, try the Scott Peterson trial.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Tammy, we're just going by what the witnesses are saying in these papers. Because she said, are they saying he didn't put her on this boat? They're saying that a lot of people said they didn't see her on the boat or didn't see, anything in his boat.
Yeah, this is an article that's showing a way that she would have been laying or could have been laying in the boat to potentially hide or not hide.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just pictures to go in reference to that theory.
Right.
Back, you guys.
Hello.
Sorry. So they're in bed. I ran to pee real quick, got a bottle of water, and while I was in there getting a bottle of water, I snatched the leftover grilled cheese that Jolie wouldn't eat. So
Snackies.
don't you love it when your dinner is usually whatever your kids didn't eat?
Yeah.
I don't have that anymore.
Mm.
My kid eats all hers. Of course, she's 25, so
There you go.
She says, I'm going to eat what I can eat.
I'm not wrestling her for it. That's for sure.
Oh, okay. Devicle's clavicle. Scott was supposedly very happy about the baby. Why not wait for him to be born and then kill her?
Well, I've heard the opposite of that too, that he wasn't happy.
Yeah, I heard the opposite, but then heard that he was happy.
Right.
So
I've heard both sides again,
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yep.
Which is which? I don't know. But
I'm going to run and take a break, potty break.
okie
So
dokie.
go ahead without me and I'll be here in a minute.
Okie dokie.
Good. Now you saying okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Arty dokie. Hold on. I'm looking for some other photos. There was like, I think I missed part of what you guys were saying about the because I heard you telling Morgana something about the baby being born maybe out of the pants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I kind of wondered about that too. I was like, how would that work? But
Mm-hmm.
you said makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There was this one chick who was in that ABC thing that showed, like, I guess she started like a online forum to talk about, because she said something about if you went into because the forums were all the rage back then, and the chat room.
Oh yeah.
And she said if you went in there and tried to even mention that you thought he could potentially be innocent, then you were either in love with him or you were just a sick weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
She said nobody wanted to have like an intelligent conversation about his potential.
Yeah. That's one
innocence.
reason why I had to narrow my searches when I was pulling up articles to the actual like news sources, because you wouldn't believe the amount of forums I was coming across to even mention him. And I was like, this is too much.
Right. I would think so. Let me see here. They show hold on, and I'm looking at this one website here, and it kind of shows some photos, but I want to make sure that none of them are like grotesque or anything. I don't think they've ever shown. Okay, here's that piece of plastic. Wow.
Of the
So
pallet plastic.
the plastic that was like, I guess, around
Connor.
a lap tech. Yeah, this was the tape that was around his neck. I guess I could show this page. It says gruesome crime scene photos, but they're not. Poppy, will you quit being so licky over there? You're killing me. You're killing me. Tammy said, I heard the girlfriend didn't want baby and he wanted to start a new life. Well, she had a baby.
Yeah,
The
she did. She
girlfriend
had a little girl.
yeah, like an 18-month-old daughter,
Yeah.
20-something months.
Yeah, 18-month-old.
Steph says, did he pick up a baby at the Eiffel Tower? Right. But if he lost his wife like he told Amber, where would a newborn have come from? There you go, right?
Exactly. And actually, I believe Amber, if you start referring to Amber Fry, she mentioned it in her book that she did want to have Lilums, but Scott said no, he wouldn't want to put her through that he's happy with the way things were, and he was okay with it. And in fact, he put out there he would go ahead and have a vasectomy. That way she wasn't put out by, like a tubal or birth control or this or that or the other. So,
Well, what do you think was his deal? I mean, do you think he just flat didn't want any more kids, or was he like, oh, I like the way she looks right now. If she gets pregnant and has 2 or 3 more babies, she'll become a fatty watty, and I won't be attracted to her no more. Like what?
possibly. But then
And
again, too,
I wouldn't even mind knowing what the other chicks looked like that he had affairs with. I mean,
right.
I don't know if because Amber was the complete opposite of Laci.
Yes, she was.
I mean, not that Laci wasn't skinny. Laci was pregnant the only time. I mean, the pictures that you'd seen of her pre-pregnant, she was just a normal, average, beautiful female. But she was dark skin, dark hair, big smile. And then Amber is petite and skinny as a rail and blonde hair and fair skin, just way opposite.
Yeah. Yep. And apparently, too, Amber Fry, she wasn't as outspoken as Laci was. She was more of a timid side. As also.
No. This is what I was going to show you guys. So this is his, when he bleached his hair and his facial hair, his goatee and his mustache. But this photo here is, I think there's a bigger one down here. Yeah. So apparently this was kind of like a depiction of what was not there when her body was recovered. So basically what was left of her was just this part. And she was missing this bottom foot, this part of the leg, these 2 arms, and then her head. Ugh. I don't know that. I mean, I don't dislike the story or the theory of if it wasn't Scott, then potentially whoever it could have been. Hearing all the hubbub about him, oh, the husband, says he was fishing in the bay on this day, and that's where we're looking. We're putting all of our efforts and search efforts and dive this and that into the bay, and then whoever did have her's like, okay, that's where we're going to dump her. Because literally, you wouldn't even have to have a boat to do what's going on.
No, you really wouldn't.
And then this is his 2-day fishing license here that he bought. What does it say? The 1223?
1223 and 1224.
Okay.
Be careful scrolling just in case.
Oh, I've looked through it already.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't anything there. No, like, actual. I looked through it before I even shared it on the thing, but
there we go.
This says this green maternity blouse was among the clothes Laci was wearing when she was last seen on December 23rd. Police found it in the laundry hamper at the Peterson house. So, were there any clothes on her when she was recovered?
I believe when her body was recovered, she was wearing a bra and the khaki pants.
Okay. So the shirt was gone.
I am back.
Okay. Hey, Morgana, welcome back.
I had to take a shot and everything, so it took me a minute.
Oh, no worries. Glad you're back.
I'm here.
I'm back. This is the big monster toolbox in the back of his truck that a human being can fit into, just so you know.
Doesn't look that big, but I guess it is.
I read somewhere that they said a person her size could fit inside that.
Yeah.
And these look like, what, buttons from her missing? Why is that shown as... It says a bag full of fine lacy buttons was found inside the truck. Oh. Scott's attorney said the buttons proved the grieving husband was concerned, but a witness said Scott never even passed them out. Well. So here's him. It says close-up of Scott shortly before his arrest revealed what lengths he went through to change his appearance and escape justice, dyeing his hair and beard.
Yeah, he tried to say it was the sun because he'd been out in the sun, but I don't know that looks like from being in the sun.
No.
I'm sorry.
Looks like a bad guy job to me.
My partner is extremely dark haired and he wears a goatee quite a bit, and he don't ever look like some orange hair.
Right.
No. That it don't work that way. It don't happen the opposite direction, you know.
No.
When he was busted, Scott had some camping gear and $15,000 cash stuffed inside of his Mercedes. There's all the $100 bills. Look at that. Woohoo! How many diamond paints could we buy with that?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this here would be what I would consider the worst out of all the evidence photos that's on this website. And this is the plastic. Says a lab tech testified that this debris found in San Francisco Bay. Oh, wait. So this isn't it.
So it was similar.
Yeah, here. It says the lab tech testified that this debris found in the San Francisco Bay was similar in composition to tape that was wrapped around the unborn Connor's neck. So that's not it, but it's similar to it.
Right.
Okay. And then here we have the concrete.
Yeah. The homemade anchor.
It says cops determined. See, now here we go. It says This homemade cement anchor was also found in Scott's boat. Cops determined that he had made 4 more anchors to weigh down Laci's dead body after it was dropped in the water. But they're saying I don't know.
I think the reason they're saying that is because they found the rings, the concrete or cement rings that were either at the home or on the boat or something along that line. And so they said, well, that's how many he used. Instead of going, oh, well, maybe that's how many times he tried to make one.
Yeah, because they were talking about he supposedly had made them like 3 other times and couldn't get it right. But I've also heard how hard is it to mix concrete that tells you what to do, on the bag.
Yeah.
So.
Well, usually it never don't work. It works.
Yeah.
Usually every single time.
So that was their question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he bought, I can't remember how many pounds of concrete. It was a crazy amount.
Oh, I thought he bought just the one bag.
Oh, no, he had bought several bags of concrete.
But
then he was like,
pounds?
Yeah, it was some really, really high number. And then they were like, well, where's the rest of it? And he's like, out in the back where I did all that work,
Yeah.
Well, no, he did say that he had put whatever was left over at the end of his driveway to fill in them holes.
Which they showed that, but they said that doesn't look like 90 pounds of concrete. You know what I mean?
No, it wouldn't have been.
It was just a small amount. So that's strange.
Yeah, very strange. Sorry, I'm just peeking through some of these other things here, but ooh, what is that? Oh.
Steph says she wants to know, could the cash have been to pay who he had commit the crime, is what I want to know, she said.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
That's a very good question. Someone else had said something about that in here the other night when we were chatting. I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, could he have
paid somebody to do it?
Paid somebody else to do it, yeah. I was like, ooh, I don't know.
Things that make you go,
Mm-hmm.
Make you go, I wanted to, let's see. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to reshare this. I don't think it's, yeah, they found the markings where he made them in the warehouse.
Yeah.
It may have been me when I was high. But it's a way to explain a large amount of cash coming out of his account without drawing suspicion to a hired hit. Well, the whole money issue, though, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But apparently his mother had withdrawn money out of a joint account between him and her and Laci.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard, we had talked about that in here one night, but then I read or heard later something about that. What was it? Can't remember what it was. It was like the account, they were wanting to close the account out or something. And so they had to withdraw the money out before they could close it by a certain date or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that's what Scott Peterson's mother was trying to do. So trying to close an account, but she didn't have her account number. So she used her social security number. Well, then that brought up the account that was also with Scott and Laci.
And it came out of the wrong account.
The money was brought out of the wrong account, yeah.
So she was giving it back to him to put back in the account, right?
Mm-hmm. Because she was trying to give him the equity of the truck that Ellie had not returned yet.
Right.
Wow.
So that he could get another truck.
I haven't seen Lee yet tonight, Mickey Joe.
Oh, is Mickey in here?
She just came in, or she just said something anyway. She's probably been back in the corner.
She been creeping in the bushes.
She's back there creeping and crocheting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be gross. I know it's disgusting hearing people eat online.
Do what you gotta do.
I was hungry.
Yeah. When you're hungry, you're hungry.
Yeah. On this says on January 9th, I contacted Dave Casey, who worked at Berkeley Marina, who stated he'd been repairing boats at the location for over 30 years and that he was there on the 24th, but did not recall seeing Mr. Peterson. Something about fishing for sturgeon. I want to get to the watch.
Well, that's going to be way on down.
Well, there was these are all pictures of the marina. This says, in addition to looking for witnesses who may have seen Scott at Berkeley Marina, I was asked to assist in the search for Laci. I created a missing person flyer with Laci's photo on it and my phone number. A copy of the flyer I created is attached. The Petersons paid me directly for my services on occasion. A copy of one of the checks I received from Jackie Peterson, Scott's mother, for payment of services investigating what happened to Laci, dated March 17th. Ooh, wow. I wonder how much that was.
That's a copy in there.
That Vivian Mitchell, I saw her thing on the ABC thing, documentary, or not ABC, A&E. Sorry,
A&E, yeah.
And she was a sweet little older woman, like old.
Yeah.
I left my let me go up here and type in Croton watch.
Yeah, I was trying to look for that.
Me too.
Yeah, there was on page 31 here. Here we go. It says complete copy of the MPD and Stanislaus, whatever, County District Attorney Office's investigation into the Croton watch that was pawned on December 31st by Deanna R. and a watch that was pawned on February the 14th, 2003 by Anthony S. And they're requesting all the information regarding that stuff. Let me see how far down I need to. It is not letting me scroll with that little thingy-majigger. Let me get past all this junk because it's all this is talking about all the pieces of information they wanted with the stuff in it.
Yeah.
So they're asking for it here as part of the evidence that they're requesting from the Los Angeles Innocence Project.
Mm-hmm.
Here it says on March 6th, 2003, Laci's Croton watch was still unaccounted for. So Detective Grogan had an MPD officer search pawn records for the word Croton. The officer found one pawn record. A woman had pawned a Croton watch on December 31st, 2002, 1 week after Laci went missing, at a pawn shop less than 3 miles from Scott and Laci's home. However, no follow-up investigation reports on this pawn were provided to Mr. Peterson. To date, Laci's Croton watch is still unaccounted for. Mr. Peterson's trial attorney entered this pawn slip into evidence at a trial on June 17, 2004. As a result, Lieutenant Mark Smith with the Stanislaus County District Attorney's Office arranged for the woman who pawned the watch, Deanna R. whatever, and her boyfriend James B. to be interviewed in July of 2004 in Oklahoma, where they were then living, by Oklahoma law enforcement Mark Saunders. The Saunders dude refers to email correspondence between Lieutenant Smith and Investigator Saunders, which describes the person whom he desires to be interviewed, the information desired, and attachment. Good Lord, I can't understand. What? Just spit it out.
Yeah.
In the form of a pawn receipt and the photograph of a watch. Investigator Saunders interviewed Deanna and her boyfriend James on July 6th and again on July 7th. He recorded all 4 interviews. Ms. R. told Saunders that she redeemed the original pawn and then pawned the watch a second time on Valentine's Day of 2003 under the name Anthony S., who was with her that day. Ms. R. told Saunders that she never redeemed the second pawn because of a visit to her home by detectives in late February or early March 2003. She reported that detectives who visited her were looking for a watch that may have belonged to Laci Peterson. During this visit, Ms. R. gave the detectives the second pawn slip from the February 14th, 2003 pawn. Both R and B told Saunders that they were visited by detectives with star-shaped badges and an investigator for Scott Peterson. Peterson's defense has never been provided with any investigation reports documenting a 2003 visit by MPD or the Stanislaus County District Attorney's Office or anyone in enforcement carrying star-shaped badges. Well, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. Didn't turn it over.
R explained that the first visit from the investigators asking questions about the pawned watch occurred a week or so to 10 days before March 12th, the day R's home, located in Modesto, was raided by police. Some people, the Shavar, maybe, can you make heads or tails out of any of this?
That's what I'm trying to do now.
I'm like, what? I don't understand. Was there much rigmarole about this watch during the trial? Do you remember?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember.
Pawn shop owner Sam Inn stated in a televised interview that aired in 2017 that the Modesto police were looking for a Croton watch. And evidently he popped up in the system, the only one in the last 6 months or so that had purchased a Croton watch. See September 2017 A&E series extra content transcripts, emphasis added. I don't remember what that is. Newman goes on to say that he put the watch on hold for the police. MPD continued its investigation into the pawned watch on October 2004 when James Romano came forward with additional information. What's this down here? It says Mr. Peterson did not learn about or have any knowledge that a Croton watch was pawned at a nearby pawn shop within days of his wife's disappearance until after his arrest on April 25th.
So those are italicized notes to the bold areas in the upper regions of on that page. If you look at at the very end of that first paragraph, there's a number 15 at it. That's a footnote to paragraph 15, or that's a footnote to that paragraph, which is footnote number 15.
Okay. That makes sense. Wow, there's a whole lot of redactions.
There's a lot on that.
Oh, yeah.
So this is more information about the watch, obviously. I don't know. I mean, I'm just feeling like they're kind of like pulling like anything they can. I mean, I know that they are looking at this for the new evidence that they're looking into, the Innocence Project, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's bound to be something if they're digging. If they're going to dig hard for that.
You would think.
I just feel like that they're going to try to connect these people to the burglars from the Medinas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like that's what they're going towards, is that.
Yeah, it seems to be to me. But
number 16 here says R also recalled that the first visit occurred before her sister and brother-in-law Shane S were involved in a high-speed car chase that resulted in S's death, which was on March 11th. Oh, what? Oh, and then up above that in the paragraph right up above it where it says on number 15, about halfway through the paragraph, it says the pawn slip with Deanna R.'s name on it, Bates 628, was not provided to the defense until after April 25th, 2003. To the extent R believed the investigator who visited her in February or early March of 2003 may have been hired by the Peterson family, she was mistaken.
Okay.
They might just be winding their wheels with this watch bit. I don't know.
Well, so I guess by the time that they knew about it or whatever, was the watch, sold, I guess? Or did the police ever have the watch in their possession?
Say that again?
Since it was a pawn shop, did the police ever have the watch in their possession, or had it already been sold by the time they realized somebody had pawned it? Does anybody know?
Well, what it sounds like to me is they said the first time she got it back, but the second time she didn't go get it back.
Right.
So
did
I don't
they,
know if they. I don't know. Did they say in here if they got it back or not? And I just missed it.
That's what I was trying to go back and see.
I didn't see that, but I could have missed it too. But that's why I was wondering if it was sold and the police never actually saw the physical watch or had the physical watch. That's what I'm thinking.
I thought that they had said something about the pawn slips had serial numbers or whatever that was like on the watch, or whatever sort of personal description of the watch they were trying to. I don't know that they actually had the actual watch.
Right.
Here it says, in that interview, Newman describes what is in Detective Grogan's police report about the March 6, 2003 search for the word Croton and the fact that MPD CSO found one. Newman goes on to say that he put the watch on hold for the police.
So there was they actually.
Yeah, so there was a physical watch. Yeah.
MPD continued its investigation into the pawned watch in October 2004 when James Romano came forward with additional information. Based on the foregoing, please provide all notes, reports, correspondence, communication, discussion with Mark Saunders regarding the MPD's 2004 investigation into the Croton watch, Deanna pawned on December 31st and February the 14th.
Does it say where she got the watch from?
Originally?
Yeah, the Deanna lady. Was it her watch, supposedly? Or did somebody, was it something?
That's a good question.
I didn't know if it ever said anywhere there.
Hold on, let me go back up here. Was it 31?
Yeah. Yeah, 31.
District Attorney's Office investigation into the Croton watch that was pawned on December 31st by Deanna R. and a watch that was pawned on February 14th by Anthony S.
It doesn't really ever say that they actually retrieved the watch, though.
Yeah.
It does not say it anywhere in here.
Like that they ever took it for, testing of any kind, or had it that they could do that.
Can you guys hear my
snoring? Go ahead.
Can you hear Poppy snoring?
No, I hear my dog snoring.
I hear breathing, it sounds like.
My dog's snoring over here.
Maybe it's Steph snoring. Did she fall asleep?
Probably.
Maybe.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this Deanna chick, was it her watch? Did somebody steal it and she was like pawning it? Was it hot? I don't know.
Right. I'm looking.
But I don't really see that anywhere in that.
Is there ever a declaration from this Deanna chick in here?
I don't see one.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't
I looked
remember.
ahead and I didn't see one, unless I missed it.
To this date, Laci's Croton watch is still unaccounted for.
Yeah, hers
That's
is.
stated on the paragraph. It says on March 6, 2023, or sorry, the March 6, 2003, Laci's Croton watch was still unaccounted for. So detective had a MPD officer search pawn records for the Croton watch for words Croton. A woman had pawned a Croton watch on December 31st, 1 week after Laci went missing. However, no follow-up investigation reports on this pawn were provided to Mr. Peterson. To date, Laci's Croton watch is still unaccounted for.
Yeah, so they were trying to figure out whether that was hers or not. But I don't know if the police ever had it in their possession
Right.
to even know whether it was hers or not.
Well, I'm looking.
That's what it sounds like to me. But they said from something I either watched or read, they said she wore that watch often.
Mm-hmm.
That
Like all
Laci.
the time. Yeah. So that's strange that her watch is not there. I guess unless she had it on, and they, like, when she washed up, it, wasn't there then, of course, but. But a bunch
Yeah,
of her jewelry was still at the house. Did you hear that? Like her wedding
Yes.
ring and a necklace and stuff that she would have had on the day before or something.
Yeah,
It
at the
was all
Christmas party.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of strange, like your wedding ring and everything. I mean, I guess you could take it off at night. Some people probably do, but.
So wait, Laci's jewelry was stolen?
No, Laci's jewelry was not stolen. The only thing missing is this watch.
This watch, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's Lee. He's walking in, and Brenda's going to sleep, I guess. Good night, Brenda.
Good night, Brenda.
And Lee just came in after a bit of testing my back, he said.
After what?
A bit of testing my back, he said.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know if his back's been hurting and he's trying to. Is that what you mean, Lee?
Testing or resting?
Maybe he meant resting. It says testing.
What are you doing, Lee?
I can't decipher that, but maybe.
Let's see, Lee having problems type.
Oh, he says, yay, I can DP again. LOL.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Lee.
Which detail, Tammy, are you talking about? I'm still just scrolling, looking for.
I don't know if there's anything else on that.
On this watch.
Nope, I think that was about it.
When I scroll down through these, like all the different places where it highlights the watch, because I did that like Control F search feature function thing on here.
Right.
It keeps going through like these, like this one here says all notes, reports, correspondence, photos, audio, video, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And then this here is just a list of things that the Los Angeles Innocence Project is requesting, and the Croton Watch is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then here is when we get into what we were reading before we started going back and looking.
Right. I think that's all that they showed on there, really.
Hmm. Amazing diamond bezel. Wait. On February the 6th, 2003, Detective Grogan found an eBay listing by Scott and Laci for an amazing diamond bezel lady watch Croton. He determined that this watch matched the description of the watch Mr. Peterson said Laci was wearing the day she went missing. He was able to determine that the watch was not sold on eBay. Okay. I
Right.
was like, a minute, what? Wait. And then this is when they find the pawn records. Sorry, I'm just reading through this again.
Okay.
Okay. That was the spot where we. And then again, it's just talking about all the things that they're requesting.
Yeah.
All photographs of watches Sanders showed to be in R, including but not limited to Croton watch. Number 62 here. This is prior to Scott's arrest in April 2003. I had no knowledge that a Croton watch had been pawned at the pawn shop by a woman named Deanna Renfro. Well, that's the R. There you go. On December 31st, 2002, I did not conduct any interviews with Deanna or James prior to Scott's arrest or at any other time.
Who was that saying that?
This is the Gary or more, that private investigator dude.
Right.
Yeah. But that's basically all I can see from tonight on the whole watch and the robbery thing.
Right.
Tammy says the watch missing, pawn shop, but no one investigated this, or did I miss something? Yeah, it was investigated. They're just not given like all of the information that we would need. That they're not given like every single thing that they have in this document. But anyway, so what are you guys thinking? What is the let's give me the top 3 things, Morgana, that is just driving you crazy that's telling you that you're not positive he's the one. What are the top 3 things?
Well, probably the one thing I want to know about is the mattress, the blood.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess these witnesses, but I don't know about that either because with the color of the pants and that's all kind of throwing me off now. But I mean, the blood's my biggest thing. I want to know if that is any, DNA from her or not. What do you think?
I think for me, if I had to just stop, I mean, there's like a bajillion things, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
If I had to pick just 3,
right.
I want to know more about the mattress and if that's her blood.
Right.
The second thing that, oh shoot, we didn't get to the mailman information tonight. And I don't know if that was in here or not, but the back and forth witnesses on the she was walking the dog this time. I mean, either she was walking the dog or she wasn't. They were saying, oh, well, the doctors told her not to be exercising because she was having dizziness. And they told her, don't exercise in the mornings until
Right.
you've eaten and you got something on your belly and it's later in the day. I mean,
But then I heard she had started back up in December, like early December.
right.
So which one of those is right, you know?
I don't know.
That's how all this is, though.
Well, the thing is you have that many witnesses saying they saw her. They know it was her. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I mean, I have quite a bit of neighbors on my road, right? Yeah, I live out in the country, but I still there's like a high housing addition across the road for me. And,
Right.
you know, people, I know all my neighbors, right?
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that 3/4 of the neighbors up and down my road, if I saw them walking their dog and say 3 or 4 of them walk their dogs, I would know which one's which and who's who. And there's only so many pregnant women that live on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the
You
way
would
they're acting like there's 10 or 15 pregnant women that's 8 months pregnant that live on the street.
That all look the same. Hair color, dogs look the same.
Right. So that is what's blowing my mind. Now, I don't know if some of them are thinking, you know, oh, well, I think it was on the 24th, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the whole 2 or 3 days before that, or a day or
Right.
two after that. I don't know, but that drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing I think, besides the mattress and the witnesses, would have to be the boat, whether or not she would even be able to fit in that boat and him get her out without tip. I mean, I understand what you were saying about how the guy was saying, well, he was pushing his foot, you know, instead of like weighing himself. I understand that, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be easy, but it's not that. It's more of the people said they saw him. You would see something bunched up under a tarp
Yeah.
in a boat that size. An 8-month pregnant woman, you're not going to see something wonky like that underneath a tarp in a boat. I don't know about that.
But then wasn't there other people that said they did see a tarp or something like that in his boat?
Now y'all know why they need more than eyewitness accounts. Because in a law aspect, you're gonna have to take that eyewitness statement with like a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Because that grain of salt can be too much or not enough to confuse or to go in favor of.
Right.
So what are your 3 things? Well, wait. First of all, JB says he's guilty, guilty, guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. But what 3 things for you are making you question, or would make you question?
This burnt van. Because I may say guilty, 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 guilty. But I have enough in the mindset to go, okay, without putting a biased outlook on it, what are the probabilities of? And that's my biggest thing is this van and the mattress.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, way too much crime in my life.
Yeah.
I look at all that, you know.
Yeah.
And it, to me, it's going, okay, well, wait a minute. Devical clavicle, you know. These guys could have been part of this thing. And this thing could have done this. And this, and it goes a spider web in my brain.
Yeah.
So, you
Well,
know.
it's just weird that they found that, like, close to where that guy was supposedly some relative lived and where he was known to be. And then the place where all of them were hanging out at that business.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was it?
That's where
the street
yeah.
where the van supposedly came from or was stolen
Right.
from. Or,
Right. The
guy that
whatchamacallit
owned
place.
it.
Yeah.
The guy that owned it owned that business, and there was a bunch of hanky dudes out there hanging out.
It's sketchy
Yeah.
folks.
And I mean, I'm not going to believe these guys that, robbed this house. I'm not going to believe them like, oh, no, we weren't there or we didn't take her. No. I mean, we didn't have nothing to do with that.
Well, I mean, the one guy said that he was so out of his mind.
You didn't
He
even know
done
what
too much in too many days.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and they just so happen to be the days that's in question, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And wasn't there something about him telling, or one of those guys telling somebody in jail, or somebody heard him tell somebody something about that?
Yep.
Going on.
Yep.
Well, I heard there was one of the last, maybe it was the very last episode of that A&E series. There was something to do with some lieutenant something got a phone call, and he had gotten some kind of information that some inmate from prison had made a phone call and said that that they were the ones that nabbed Laci and did whatever.
Right.
The person they called was their own brother or brother-in-law or something like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But I don't remember what they said in regards to that. I don't know what came from that.
There's just a lot of strange stuff around that. The van, the blood, the dog went that way. The search dog.
Right. I forgot about that.
All that stuff. So I don't know. There's something there that makes me want to know more about that.
Yeah, because I believe those dog searches are some of that stuff that the Innocence Project or the LA Innocence Project want is, hey, what's all the dog searches come up with? Not just these. What's all of them come up with?
Yeah. They want to know more about what they, each one of them did. So, yeah, that's my main thing that I want to see out of that.
That's me. My main thing is that van, the mattress, that whole thing involving them 4 tires.
Right.
Right. Tammy says, if you had an 8-month pregnant woman walking a dog in and near your house and you didn't see her again, wouldn't you wonder where she went? Well, I mean, it depends. If I'm busy and I'm just like walking outside to check my mail and I go out there and I see her, I'm like, hi. And then I turn around and go back to my house and I don't think another thing of it until the next day when she's missing. And then I'm like, oh crap, I seen her, and it was at, my mailman usually comes about between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? But no, I wouldn't think nothing of it again unless something was sketchy with the first time I seen her, you know.
Right.
There was something else I was gonna bring up, and I forgot what it was. Shoot. QB took a cat nap. The way we all say Devicles clavicles, so natural. Like I know, right? Yeah.
We just picked it up and never put it down. It's okay.
Yeah. Mickey called it henceforth and forevermore or something like that.
That's right. She
Bubbles
deemed
said he didn't do the deed, then why did he take out all that money and change his appearance and all that? That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do it.
Right.
I think any of us are saying that for sure.
No.
He's guilty. He's guilty.
I
As
mean,
a matter of fact, JB's saying he's definitely guilty.
He's guilty.
JB's like, he's guilty. I don't know. I just don't, there's just a lot of I don't know. And then I did see how the jurors were acting afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was that one oh shoot, they showed in that one thing there was like a video of the jurors like having dinner out somewhere, and the big heavy set guy that had the suit on, he was like laughing and cackling, and he said, I bet your mission, like, oh, they were saying, what would you say to Scott Peterson tonight or something? And that big heavy set juror guy, he said, oh, I'd say, I bet you're missing the Dish Network tonight, huh, Scott? Because, you know, he likes the
Mm-hmm.
popcorn, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But,
the buttery cat.
right?
Lord, let's not go into popcorn flavors, okay?
Well, I mean, you know, you want to talk about butter. Oh, whoever he's watching probably all slicked up. I don't know, but
Lord.
I just thought that was, and then the other 2 or 3 jurors that was there at the same time was like, and you know, I understand that, but also it just felt kind of gross. Like,
Yeah.
they were just like laughing it up, you know, and I don't know. It just felt kind of ooh.
Yeah.
Me, one juror, that juror number 5 that was dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't even have any bias one way or the other. I wasn't on any side. He said, I was just, you know, he's like, these people that's coming on for the prosecution is actually turning defense's witness, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that I was talking about, that was the heavier set one with the glasses, he apparently, some of the other jurors said that he was like mean and would yell at some of them, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it was. I don't know.
But then, you know, I see other things about like Scott Peterson's behavior and just weird shit that makes me kind of go, oh, I didn't mean to say that. The S word. Sorry.
Weird stuff.
That makes me be like, oh, ick on that part too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just his actions, and the more I hear, the more I'm like, ugh.
Right.
So
I get that.
But I do want to know this other stuff. I just want to make sure, you know, it's kind of like you just want to make sure. You want to know, like, oh, there wasn't something overlooked, or, oh, you know.
Right.
Because there are people in prison that are innocent. Not that I think he is, probably, but, you know.
Right. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. And it's, I mean, what would you do if it was your brother or your uncle or your, you know what I mean? Like, it would be hard. And like that Janie that is his sister-in-law that's like really going out on all these. She's the one that was in that A&E, and I've heard that I think I heard something about she works with somebody that works on the LA Innocence Project.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that that's true, but I think I heard somewhere something like she is a friend of a friend or works for somebody that did work for that, something like that, and that's how they got like her foot in the door on his behalf or something. But I don't know if that's true. Steph said it could be like medical staff having a dark sense of humor to survive the trauma. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's JB. JB's got dark sense. It's the medical. It's the the fascination of following true crime.
Yeah, right. QB says she paid for the A&E documentary. You think so?
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah, I did hear that. Something along that line.
How in the world could she do that? I mean, what kind of money do they have?
I don't know.
I don't either. Well, you guys, I think we dove about as deep as we can tonight. I'm tired, and we have who's going to be ready for Delphi talk tomorrow? Anybody want to talk about Delphi tomorrow?
Me.
Yeah.
Because
me.
Delphi is tomorrow. Yeah.
I got lots of documents.
She got tons of documents.
Tons of.
I got lots and lots of documents.
She just starts pulling them out of her shirt sleeve and out,
Dude, you get a document. You get a document. You get that. Everybody gets documents.
Oh my goodness.
Steph, it'll be tomorrow during the day. The Alex Murdaugh Alex Murdaugh hearing is over. It was supposed to have been a 3-day hearing, but the judge tried to squeeze it all into today, and she did a good job at getting that done. And so there weren't. I haven't really been like following any of the other trials, except for. And haven't even really. I mean, we've just kind of been peeking in here and there on the Crumbly trial, but it's not one that I've covered from the very beginning onward, So, I think that tomorrow, because there was a lot of document drops today for Delphi, and I think I really want to start getting into Delphi. So, yeah. And then if there's any information that comes out, any more information that comes out concerning the Kansas City boys, we might chitter chat about them a little bit. But Steph, if you're free tomorrow during the day, I know you are really interested in the Delphi case, so I'd love for you to pop up with us. And both Morgana and JB, I know they're really interested in it too. So
just a little bit, just a little bit.
JB's just a little obsessed.
Just a little bit, yeah.
But that's good. She's got the information.
Yeah, right. QB says you all gonna look at those documents whether you want to or not.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wait.
Jenny.
Elizabeth tomorrow, but we'll have you all playing while I'm. You're going to go meet Elizabeth? Oh. Steph says, yay. Okay, I'm going to get Abigail's package out early. Go to the bakery and be ready to listen and pack orders all day before 9. Wow. We're having barbecue nachos. Oh, wow. Elizabeth is literally going to bite a piece of your face off. Your barbecue, you know. So literally, Elizabeth calls QB barbecue.
Yeah.
That's like her nickname. And so QB's like, we're going to have barbecue nachos. I'm like, okay, so we're turning you into nachos. That is not a good time.
I don't know if I'd go, QB.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't sound right.
I'll be listening, but I won't be able to hop on if that's what you meant, unless y'all want to hear tape. I don't care to hear tape. I mean, you know, you can like mute yourself off and on, and then whenever you want to interject, then you can, you know.
You can rip it off. We don't care.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can like tape your mouth shut while you're, and then, you know, and then unmute yourself. That's how we're going to be muting ourselves from now on, I guess, is just putting tape over our mouth.
I'm not putting tape on my mouth, Jenny.
Jenny says, thanks. I love when she says that. Thanks, Jenny and Co. See you sometime tomorrow. All have a good night. You too.
Good night, Henny.
Good night.
You're meeting halfway. She's gonna fart on you, barbecue. She will. Elizabeth will fart on you, 100%. That's what she's good for. I know. I've been there. I felt the vibrations. I love me some Elizabeth. If y'all could watch me drive. Well, you can hop on with us too. Drive. You can show us where you're driving to, and then you can just interject your little bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys can think about it, and I will plan on probably 9:30. Does that work for everybody?
A little bit later since I'm behind everybody.
Morgana's like, nope.
I don't know though.
Nope. Don't worry about it. You can hop on whenever you are able.
Yeah, I'm
alive. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta be later because that's the time I'll be putting my booger in school.
Yeah. Let's see. He says, so that is what it's called now, huh? Going to eat barbecue. Oh, Lord.
Oh, my. Tell him to be, Jenny. Hit the button.
I need the button.
Oh. Did I lose you all?
No, I'm still here.
Oh. Jenny, you still here?
She might be looking for the button.
She's trying to find the button. I was like, where'd everybody go?
The scene was going in my head. I'm like, oh God, not another one.
They all left me.
Not again.
Wait a
now
minute.
I know you're
Can you guys
panicking.
hear me?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. But I
now.
Oh, okay.
We thought you left.
Oh, I left?
We thought you did.
Oh, Lord have mercy. No, I was right here. Y'all freaked me out.
Hello?
Did you not hear my anxiety level go up again?
Mine started spinning just now, but before I couldn't hear Jenny.
Oh, no, I was here. Y'all started saying hello, hello. And I'm like, oh my God. What am I not seeing?
I don't know what happened there.
It's all right. But I'm going to go ahead and go. And I'm going to go to sleep. But I will plan on being on between, I'll say 9:30. And we'll just hang around and chit chat until, anybody decides to hop in and hop on, and that will be fine.
It'll probably be a little later than that for me, but you just get on there and whatever, I'll hop in later.
That's fine, honey. Steph says I could hear Morgana and JB, but not Jenny. I don't know what happened. I might have accidentally hit my mute button and I didn't realize it. I don't know.
I'm telling you.
That's probably what happened.
Morgana and I our anxiety levels were rising. Where
Everything
did
was
Jenny
silent.
go?
Oh, goodness. Billy says PST, please. Well, 9 o'clock for you would be noon for me. I don't know if I could wait till noon.
Maybe 11.
I mean, would 11 be good for you?
It'd be all right for me. Because of breakfast, I gotta get up. I gotta get I gotta come alive. But
Right,
if you want to go on before that, that's fine, and I'll just hop on later. Either way, it's fine.
Well, we'll see. It just depends because I get up at like on the days that he has school, I get up at 5:30. So
Yeah, you're
by
up early.
9 o'clock, I'm like raring to go. I'm like most of the time. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
not ready. But
it's probably 8:30 or 9 before I roll out of bed. But then I gotta do all the things.
all
So,
the things.
whichever way, I'll just check in the morning when I get up and let you know when I'm coming on. You can send me something.
Okay, that works. And hey, Tammy and who else was it? Tammy and there was somebody else I saw here. Was it Gail? No, not Gail. I don't know if Gail's in here right now. But Tammy, did you hear? And Steph, did you hear too? I think Steph did know that the treehouse murder dude, the judge, is given up on the case. He says, nope, he's recusing himself. So whenever the dude goes for his retrial, he will have a different judge because this judge says, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny. That is funny. He said,
I figured Tammy would get a kick out of that, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Tammy says, I hope to wake up. It will be 7 or 7:30. Yeah. All right. Well, JB and Morgana, thank you again always for joining. You guys are always awesome sauce and you keep me on track. And
Well, thanks for having us.
it's fun to hop on and have these discussions with you girls and everybody else in chat. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, dears. You guys have a good night's sleep. And I will see you tomorrow.
Night, everybody in chat. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
You guys make sure to hit the thumbs up button before you skedaddle. And hold on, let me exit out of that page there. But yeah, you guys hit the thumbs up button before you head out of here. I would appreciate it. And thanks for joining and staying and watching and listening and entertaining us as we entertain ourselves and you a little bit. So I'll see you guys in the morning, and it's 11:26 right now, so I'll see you about 10-ish hours, something like that, somewhere around there. I plan on going anywhere between 9 and 10. Okay, give or take, but just keep an eye out for the notification. It should go out about a half an hour before I go live. So we'll see you then. Bye, guys.